And we're going to catch the start of the game here, and I think we held them off.
Yes,
We're
this
just
is
letting them know now that we...
Winners finals game 1.
A mirror match too.
What's up, guys? We made it
So the
back
winner will
into
qualify for this
the
October's
commentary
Goat Format
so
World Championship
welcome
tournament.
back. Thanks for your
So
patience.
this
man.
is a nice
Happy to
play
have you all
from
here.
AJ. Rota for the Donsalug before the Graceful to ensure a dark in the graveyard for the Chaos Monsters.
Yeah, Donsalug's a very easy monster to discard from Graceful Charity. Hate to say that, considering it's one of my favorite monsters, but it's a very easy decision to make, and AJ gonna summon GD Warrior Lady instead of setting it to avoid the Nobleman of Crossouts. Doesn't want to banish face down because Nobleman of Crossouts has very little utility against Warrior decks since they don't set a lot of monsters, so if you see a set monster on Warrior's side, I definitely would cross it out as fast as possible. Mystical Space Typhoon takes out Dust Tornado for Taz on AJ. See if there's a follow-up play. Graceful Charity of his own.
It's a pretty risky play by AJ to do a lady with a Dust Tornado set. That loses to a breaker really badly.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, AJ is on the other end of the spectrum. I'm very conservative even when I play Warriors. I would never go for that turn 1 reinforcements play, and I would never go for this opener with the lady and the
I
Dust
agree.
Tornado.
I do the same as you.
Yeah, we're more similar there.
Nobleman of Crossouts and Donsalug go down. Those are the same 2 cards that AJ discarded from his Graceful Charity. Blade Knight and DD Warrior Lady will trade off with each other as they get banished.
So the reason I think why we see these Gracefuls being played so aggressively and so confidently is they know what they're playing against. So it's easy for them to know what cards are bad and what cards are good.
And you can fall really behind in the Warrior matchup really quickly. So you kind of that's kind of one of the few matchups I would probably Graceful right off the bat. No, like normally I don't think Gracefuling turn 1 in Warriors is good, but if you have a knock in hand, you just want to get that thing out of there and get something that's valuable.
Not to mention, because the Warrior decks have a lot more like standalone power, the utility and synergy they have with each other is a lot less. So you really want to just cycle through and just access the power cards you need right off the bat, rather than creating some kind of giant combo with them. I mean, the most utility you can really make with these Warriors is just discarding a light and dark fodder for your chaos.
I like a Sewer Priest.
It's very cool. Wow.
So Breaker takes out MST and then swings directly for 1600. Great use of Breaker there to get rid of MST for any kind of threat.
Astura is a clean answer.
Yep. But Taz was wise to it because he did know that Assure Priest was there because they did use it last turn.
So in
That
the Warrior
PLS is
match,
aggressive.
in Warrior match, you do want your cast monsters in attack mode, avoiding the Grandmaster Sasuke.
Yep. Very aggressive move there from AJ, as now Taz has 5 cards in hand to play with against a BLS and a back row. Tribe Infecting Virus comes down. So outside of a Solemn Judgment, we're going to presume Taz will call priority to activate Tribe's effect. But let's see if the summon even gets through.
The players are keeping a blistering pace here.
Yeah, that's a really aggressive BLS too. Holy.
Yep.
Yeah,
So notice that Blade Knight was discarded, and that's the light target now for Taz. And now he's got a light and dark engrave ready to go for any chaos monster he wants to throw out. But he'll score 16 and set up back row. It'll turn to be to AJ with 3 in hand. Here comes Sasuke of his own.
What strength do y'all find that Assure Priest has in a warrior heavy format, though?
I don't think it's a card you should be main decking quite yet. It's definitely a card that should be in the side for sure, in the side, but I wouldn't main deck it.
I feel the same.
Maybe his beta exhausted against BD Warrior Lady, but that's about it.
If you had 1800 attack, maybe, but 1700 just dies to literally everything that warrior can put out, so it's just kind of pretty bad.
I mean, at least he gets it over DD Warrior Lady regardless of its mode, but I think that's probably the best utility I could see with the Sure Priest, is just being able to take it out, because the Sure Priest doesn't have a lot of other utility in that sense.
But I mean, to me, it's a meta call.
Yeah.
whether
It
or not
is.
to play it. But if you're expecting a warrior heavy meta, yeah, I wouldn't run the Asura Priest.
Definitely.
Here we see
Blade
the
Knight.
Blade Knight. Very strong. Best card in the matchup, apart from all the obviously better cards.
Blade Knight taking on Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke. Now AJ going to fire back with his own Blade Knight. Going to ram them together. 2 back row. Very even field here. Both players with 2 back rows. Taz with 2 in his hand, but that's off the draw. AJ with 1. So a very even game here. Life points very close. Taz with 61. AJ with 45.
From a spectator point of view, I love watching warrior mirrors.
Yeah, they're fun. They're quick. They're fast. They're interesting.
Exciting, interesting. Yeah, it's got everything.
It's a
Donnie-
fun matchup to play too. It's you have to. It's so different. Like when you normally you're always like trying to get Blade Knight as early as possible and attacking, but like in a warrior matchup, Blade Knight is your value card. You want to play your 1800 monsters first and then finish off with Blade Knight.
Yeah, I love it. The biggest blowout you can get is running over something with Blade Knight. That's a power play.
And Don's Luke rips Blade Knight out of the hand, showing that AJ doesn't really have anything to stop an attack. So that's huge. Main phase 2 gets reinforced in the army from Set. And that's a big play.
I'm actually feeling nervous because I couldn't care less who wins, but I really want AJ to get this one.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Now, just think if Taz has a heavy storm in his hand to kind of cap it all off.
He'll lose the
Yeah, that would be really rough.
So he's going to set 2 back row. Now AJ knows that Exile Force is the only card in his hand. He'll summon Skilled Dark Magician out.
The Rota there, does that imply that there's no judgment?
Yeah, you think so,
Yeah,
right?
because you can use that to stop the Call of the Haunted, but Skilled Dark Magician will get the Don's Luke, and Exile Force will take out Skilled Dark Magician.
It also makes sense that you wouldn't have a battle trap, right? Because if you're going for it like that, then you don't feel comfortable. Like you want to have an answer for a monster.
It's very valuable information.
Ooh, nice.
Breaker will succumb to the torrential tribute and
Here we go.
Solemn.
Oh,
So it did not imply. It did not imply no.
Now it's
Solemn.
Breaker. It's super powerful. This Breaker.
Oh my! There was a heavy storm set, so that definitely could have been played to
lose the Don.
Okay, come on, AJ. Double Nobleman. Nobleman does shoot.
But I think if he could have played that heavy storm beforehand and triggered that solemn judgment, he may not have been in this situation.
He would have lost the Don.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah, he would have lost the Don, but the Don did do the job, and that was his last card in his hand. So his value kind of goes down.
It might have been worth it.
Yeah, I think it would have been worth it.
Lose the Dawn, flip the Judgment, and then use the Storm. Maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
It was does shoot Nobleman or something of that sort. Wow. AJ gets there. I love AJ's playstyle because he's the opposite of me. He doesn't care. He just goes for it. I think it's so interesting to watch because I don't agree with all his plays, but every now and then he proves me wrong for sure, and I think that's very fun.
He's also
Is he kind of a high?
he's
Is he kind of a high?
Sorry,
risk,
go ahead.
He's kind of a high risk, high reward player.
Yes, 100%.
That's the word.
That's literally AJ to the dot.
Yeah,
He's the type of guy who'll set 5 in a heavy storm format, and none of them will be solemn.
Yeah. He will make the calculation that it's worth the risk.
Yeah. I mean, if there's no storm, setting 5 going first, you can just blow someone out if they don't have storm. Like if you don't play conservative, you'll just win.
I mean, I've had AJ come to me with math problems, and he's not good with math, but he does set 5. So
I mean, what's the percent you draw heavy storm first turn? You draw 6 out of a 40 card deck plus the draw cards. I mean, you probably draw.
It's actually pretty low. The math more is based on like a long run of a tournament. If you keep committing to doing that, you're gonna lose sooner or later to a blowout from a storm, and then in a tournament, it's gonna cost you. Like one single match, it might not, but over a tournament, it will.
Yeah. So I mean, of course, it sounds like it's probably not the best play to do that.
I mean, it's more than 1 in 6, but it's less than 1 in 7.
But still, I mean, 14% that's pretty often.
And then if you add the pot of greed and graceful and upstart,
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
AJ's got it. This has been going really strong for AJ right now. A duo in a warrior matchup's good, and then getting Breaker to not get any value.
like people speak of card advantage. That doesn't matter in the chaos matchups. It's in the warrior matchup. And this is where we play for card advantage. Every 2-for-1 is huge.
Yeah. I could definitely
So-
see that because in simplified game states, just having like 2 or 3 extra cards is pretty brutal. And that's something
AJ
you can
loves
do.
Nice
Koichi.
duo.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of the flip side lately.
Yeah, I'm quite high on the Koichi. I think it's better than Faith and these decks.
Oh wait, what?
Ooh. Night Assailant will
Wow.
get back at Koichi.
AJ also set a card with the Dust Tornado that was able to preemptively kind of dodge this duo.
Yep.
What a god! Night
Wait,
Assailant.
what kind of size is it? This is insane. Oh, and he set a storm. This is, oh my god.
Light and dark loaded.
Holy crap, this is so sick. His side is insane if he's siding into Night Assailant and flips.
Now, what's going to be the follow-up here? He's going to
Yeah.
summon BLS. Oh, my.
This is such an AJ play as
44,
well. Just goes for
58.
it.
Or
Doesn't
that's
care.
5,000. That's going to
That's-
take him down to 2,000. Or
I mean,
1,200.
a lot of players would just set the Koichi.
Does he have ring set or?
Yep.
Oh, this
He's-
just
he's got it
this is
typed
such
out.
an AJ play. I love it.
Oh, AJ did it! Yes!
Oh,
Hyper aggressive AJ is now in Worlds.
wow,
Oh, wow.
you did it with style.
What
That
a
was
match.
sick.
What a god.
match. Gentlemen,
Oh,
it
I'm
has been
so
a
happy right now.
Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure being with you. Thank you for having me on once again. I really appreciate it, gents.
Great to have you.
Absolutely. And Ryan, we'll talk we'll talk soon for having you on my podcast in a couple weeks' time. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, anytime you want to talk, I would like to hear insight on some other stuff too. So
Yeah, of course, absolutely, gentlemen. Thank you so much, and thank you to everybody again who's tuned into the stream. You're just witnessed winners finals, and I will be off, but thank you again for having me on, gents. Have a great day.
all right, see you, David.
Thank you.
So we're gonna hop into John Wick versus Sero Kaizen.
Wow.
I gotta say, I would be very happy to see John Wick take this tournament.
Oh, we all love Ivan.
Oh, Zero Kaizen, that was Karibo guy. He's still in it, so
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, his deck was really confusing to play against. I didn't really know what was going on.
Neither did we.
I didn't even understand what to do to how to play because I just wasn't understanding what cards he was even playing.
That was exactly what I said when you were playing. I was like, I bet Boxies is a little frustrated playing against this, of like knowing the meta and like now has no idea what card's gonna be flipped over. Every turn.
Yeah, it was crazy. I like it though. It was good.
That was cool.
AJT BLS says AJT always has his BLS.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we saw Sero Kaizen side in or played Karibo and enemy controllers and scapegoats and
Metamorphosis, reinforcements of the army.
yeah, it was something different, that's for sure.
So is his deck more like main decked warriors that sides into all that other kind of stuff?
don't
No, I
know,
think
right?
we saw
I'm not
everything
even
they
sure.
won, apart from the Karibo.
Yeah, meta and Warrior was both in the main at least.
Yeah, and enemy controller and scapegoat. We saw
Yeah,
everything apart
And
from the Karibo.
extermination too. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, that one too.
Is Zero Kaizen undefeated so far?
No, this is losers. The only undefeated person is AJT BLS.
Okay. And how many remaining people are in the tournament?
There's
Um,
still like 8, 9,
12?
10.
12.
Yeah, there you go. Something like that.
Okay.
No, a few more. Sorry. There's like 15
15? So we're about 2/3
Yeah.
through. Cool.
along those lines.
Yeah, so every match of these is an eliminator now.
Well,
Except
I
for
guess
the
there's
guys.
only like I guess there's only like 10 people left, to be honest.
No, but there's not. Is there?
Yeah, because there's only one side of the bracket that even has people left playing. So there would be like a top 8, and then there's 2 more rounds of that. So there's only like
Yeah,
10 people left.
you're right. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, it is exactly 10.
Yeah, something that's been really interesting coming back into Yu-Gi-Oh after not playing for 8 years or so is and also with my current profession of playing poker, is like I view the game like so much more mathematically now, where I'm constantly looking at my deck count and how many copies of a card I'm playing and just like thinking through, it's like, okay, I have like a 10% chance of drawing X card at this stage, um, and it's definitely a way of looking at it that I never did whenever I was like super competitive and playing.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was one of the
there's
things.
another.
That was one of the things Labounty like kind of taught me very early on after he had success was to start like to play more into what you're going to draw, which I don't think a lot of people pick up on at first.
One person who's very similar to, who also applies that logic, is James Ark. When we would look at games together, he would often say, "Oh, the deck is this large, and we have drawn this many monsters, so I think this is slightly more likely to be the correct play." And honestly, I don't pay that much attention to those details. Like, I would check if Mirror Force is gone. That's like the extent.
Tell you what, John Wick does not play of that entire way of just what is the most likely card to come up. He definitely plays a lot of what he thinks he can get his opponent to do.
Yeah, I think that's probably the optimal way to play if you're trying to maximize your win. Just because those percentages add up over time, so.
For sure. At the end of the day, like most things in life, it comes down to numbers when you look at it closely enough. So summon is okay. I mean, you use the effect, right? Yeah.
So did Sarah Kaizen go pot agree, graceful, discard 2 solemn judgments?
It looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I mean, Judgment isn't good when you're at 8,000, right?
It's good in pairs.
Yeah, it is good in pairs. That's a bit odd. But this is the first time we've seen an odd play from
I'm not gonna try to figure out anything about Sir Kaizen.
Let's just watch and learn. Just go along for the ride.
So this part of the bracket is the one that got lagged behind because of some dueling book glitches. So it is actually, after this round, we have one more, and then it will be caught up.
Do y'all tend to have many issues with the dueling book lags for your tournaments?
It's been better of recent, but we've had major issues in the past, yeah.
Yeah,
The reconnect kind of helped it a lot.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But I mean, from my recollection, the last year, there haven't been huge problems.
Last year wasn't too bad.
And the reconnect is
Before
that
the-
like an update they did where you can like come
Yeah.
back in and it'll remember the game state?
Yeah, it's very recent.
It's great.
Those were pretty devastating. We had to give out a lot of losses just because of that, because there wasn't really any workaround.
Yeah, that's got to be really bad for the administrative side of things, and it would be really discouraging if you're a player and that was a constant issue. So it's good to hear that it's
I
kind of
remember
worked itself out.
I won a match thanks to Disconnect once. That wasn't a fun experience. I had won the game 1, and then I was looking like I was in bad shape game 2, but it was still close, and they disconnected.
Yeah, it feels bad to get a win like that. You just kind of
Yeah,
feel a little scummy.
didn't feel right.
And just imagine too, like, didn't Geist in Worlds lose twice to disconnect?
Yeah,
Both of his
I
He
mean,
games?
did. Yeah.
and guys, he was like one of my top favorites to win the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
was
He's one of
just
the better players going into it. That's feels bad.
And really has not recovered since then as far as tournament standings.
Wow. Is this flipped onto the scapegoat?
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a
Wait.
delay.
Wait, what? So graceful discarded double judgment when you had the third? Is that what happened?
Looks like it, yeah.
Cool. So after the battle phase comes the crying phase, often entered after a mirror force, but this time scapegoat.
Which button is that one?
Ooh, Sir Kaisen. Very nice. And, well, John Wick is somewhat overextended here. Scapegoat does tend to do that. Your opponent overextends, and then you combat it with a metamorphosis.
Have you given up on main deck Mystic Swordsman level 2 Moxies?
No, and I don't think you
No.
can, not right now.
I agree.
It's just a way too powerful card.
John Wick once again with the mental warfare.
And did Zero Kaizen just draw a pass?
No, they haven't passed very main phase.
They're in main phase, okay.
You can tell by the red.
Yep.
Steel.
Ooh, that's good.
Do you flip judgment here?
Mm.
Oh wow, can you send emotes in Dueling Book?
Yeah, you can.
Is that new?
Relatively new. You just have to right click
You got a
and
little-
you can do it. It comes up.
Wow, sweet. I barely played
Got a little
the
chatter
last-
from
month.
Ivan.
That's a good banish.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So is this where we see that Chibi summon Mobius? Oh, meta.
Oh wow, he's gonna go into a Ryu Senshi. Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe. Could go for the dragon.
Yeah, Darkblade is a card. You'd
Yeah,
have
I guess
to think.
he could go for a more powerful one. That would be
But
fine.
if you get the hit in with the Senshi here, it's so hard to lose from there, right?
Yeah, but if you don't have like a backup to it, a Blade Knight could just crash it. I mean, but that's not worst case scenario for a trade.
I mean, just getting the 2000 damage at this point, John
Yeah.
Wick is just. And also, this deck does main deck at least 2 enemy controller. So. Whoa! Now you go for the storm. Sorry. This is just great. We hit the storm as well. We had the perfect read.
Why wouldn't you just heavy first?
That's the thing. This is Sir Kaisen. Watch and learn.
They couldn't have heavied that plate snatch?
Yes, you could have, but why would you?
Because then you could have hit him with the dragon right now.
No. This
Yeah,
is Sir
yeah.
Kaisen we're watching.
Yeah, actually, if you have Storm, that makes more sense because what's gonna happen here? If okay,
Can't book
Oh,
it though, so
that's good. That's actually smart. I take it back.
I
That's
love it.
good.
I love it. So good.
Yeah.
Damn, all
You
monsters.
guys just on another level. You guys couldn't possibly comprehend.
No, I take it back. That was actually well thought out. That play specifically was pretty well thought out.
yep, gets around the Book of Moon.
What a god. Sir Kaisen sportsmanlike in chat, writing GG. See if John Wick responds. Ah, never mind. Silly me.
Ivan's got some of the
the
undercutting.
He's got no idea what's
comments.
coming.
Not a bad strategy though to keep your opponent guessing.
Yeah, I actually kind of like Syracus's deck. It's kind of wild. And,
I
you know,
don't
wild
get-
can work.
The only thing I've really not liked was that I saw so far was the Karibo.
Yeah, the Karibo. I also wasn't a fan of him trading card advantage to get a 1500 attack, like enemy controller on me. I felt like that was just a lot of wasted card advantage.
Twice?
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't think that was. I didn't think that was a very good play to use enemy controller on me twice to poke for 15.
You don't think?
No.
Yeah. No.
When he did it, I was like, okay, go for it. I'll take 1500 and you'll lose a card. Like, I'm down.
You say that, but what if he had like flipped a bunch of other burn cards after that?
I mean, yeah, that would have just been bad. I felt comfortable. He was actually just making my Solemns a little bit more powerful. I was sitting on.
Man, look at that! I don't know if you guys probably can't see the tattoo on Ryu Senji's hand.
Oh no, sorry. I don't have that card Hubbard. But I do have Google.
I like the fusions of monsters, these old ones that are literally just combinations of the two cards.
Yeah, it's cool. It's sweet.
Freaky Soap in chat said this is the greatest deck he's seen in a while.
For sure.
It would be pretty cool if this deck won after Zombies winning last weekend. But I gotta root for Ivan.
What? You root against Scapegoat?
Mm-hmm.
I like Ivan, but I'm definitely rooting for the guy playing Karibo. Like,
For sure.
every goat control deck that wins a tournament, Dale Bolito adds $100 to the world's prize pool. So
Are you counting this as Go Control?
sure.
Depends on the number of Chaos Ultra.
If it has
If it's-
Scapegoat and Meta, Scully's like, yeah, that count.
Yeah.
No, it matters the number of Chaos Sorcerer.
Yeah, it also has to have one or fewer Chaos Sorcerer.
It may need one Tsukiyomi too. I'm not sure on Dale's definition, but he counted the 3v3 deck.
Yeah, but Huawei's was just
It was-
mashing his build, wasn't it? Just straight mash build.
It was Jazz's, regular Go Control
Yeah.
build.
So, the classic Nobleman.
Wait, he kept Nobleman in, and it
He
worked.
did so against you as well.
Yeah, I know. That actually kind of made me nervous because I saw it into flips, and then game 3 I was like, you know what? Now I have to sign out my flips.
Gotta keep on guessing, right?
Yeah.
It's like Sir Kaiser wrote in the chat, I put the lime in the coconut.
That's some funny quips.
I mean, this is like the ultimate matchup.
Yeah.
John Wick against this guy.
Yeah, Ivan usually is loaded with the quips. Was almost once disqualified from the tournament from attacking with Neospacian Grand Mole and saying he was going to molest his opponent.
I'm not gonna laugh at that. That's funny, but it is.
That's disgusting.
Oh wow. I would have just attacked with Donzalug.
Pour one out for Gate Guardian. These Donzalugs getting destroyed.
Or you say you don't agree with the play from Sir Kaiser?
I guess yeah.
Really?
It's just like if you're gonna attack, if you're just gonna do this with Tsukiyomi, why wouldn't you just do it the turn before with Donzalug?
I can't really understand how you're still questioning this guy.
Oh, double knock! Oh my god!
1100, baby.
Let's go. Gotta get that 1100 damage.
No lights in grave.
Oh, this is so good.
Kaizen is definitely operating on another level.
Finally, someone is getting it.
It's like I'm playing the Riddler.
I mean, how, not to be that guy, but how did he get here?
And correction, WoW's build was Massus's from Worlds, not Jazz's.
True.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Kaisen did win 2 straight.
Imagine just a heavy storm here now if there's no Solemn back there.
I mean, this must be like the one time I've seen John Wick be behind in the mental warfare.
Show me what you got.
Please type out the hand.
He's gonna give us the abbreviation guesses.
Oh, I was so terrible last time. Okay. So the other two are 2 monsters. Metamorphosis, Nobleman of Extermination.
Is there no monster?
No, there are 2.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's thinking. So do you pick Kuribo? Or this is so great.
8,000 life points each.
There we go. Finally someone. Takes one for the crowd. The crowd has rights. Also politely asking their opponent. They're okay.
We used to have to banish hands because the game would glitch every time you tried to use Trap Dust Shoot.
What a great guy, Sir Kaisen. BLS Tsukiyomi. Wow.
No light. So this is a pretty dead hand. I mean, knowing Kaizen, he might meta the Suki.
For the Dark Fire Dragon?
That's ruthless. I mean, I'd probably just pass if I was him.
If you were Kaizen, you know what you would do?
Yeah, I mean, Don's Blue's already gone.
You presume to know the mind of Kaizen?
Yeah, you're right. He's definitely gonna meta this suit.
Did you just argue against
That's 1,500. That's 1,500 damage.
Well, now it's no damage because he sent Suk. He'll probably maybe he'll Nobleman Extermination and then
so
pass.
The question here is, if you leave the Suk, that's potentially a future Suki Thousand Eyes lock, right? Compared to a potential BLS. I don't know which is more scary.
I think Suk's probably right now. Just try and just push as hard as you can.
Just make the hand dead. Like, Ivan may have really considered that this guy might make the 1,500 that he'd have to answer.
Yeah.
I think I would play the Extermination now.
See, I'm not sure I would.
Because you're not going to want to play it on the new card that John Wick knows have the Extermination for.
I don't want to get dust shooted again. Or
Yeah,
dust shot.
That's true too.
That part's true.
But maybe John would have flipped double dust shoot, so I don't know.
And maybe you want to play it later, and now he drew a Solemn, and he can stop it to save something important. Okay, so yeah, putting the Suki back will allow probably this Blade Knight to stay on the board.
He's being conservative.
Warrior Lady's good too, because now if he even redraws the Stuki, that's gonna still be there. Probably, I think that probably is better than Blade.
Yeah, for sure. John Wick has almost had an entire, I don't know what you call it, dueling book length of monologue.
Yeah, I don't know if typing in the chat nonstop is the optimal strategy. Seems quite distracting.
That works sometimes, but I feel like it backfires too. If you're too much talking, then you're gonna forget your own stuff.
You distract yourself.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
depends on personality, right?
I try not to talk as like ever, unless I absolutely have to.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, he is a DJ,
try to
right? So maybe
define-
he lives off that interaction.
Well, he would do this playing in real life.
In real life, I could see that being very distracting for the person you're playing against. I can't remember a single tournament I ever played against him though. So I never really got to experience it firsthand.
He's gonna try to avoid a Dust Tornado or MST on the Scapegoat. Or could have a creature swap play.
Well, that was his new card, right? So he's got BLS and meta in hand.
Oh yeah, so does he think he can play the meta maybe? I think playing it is fine though to avoid the MST and Dust.
I mean, if he's got Solemn, you should just Solemn this, I think. Because like you're gonna have to spend at least a turn, maybe even 2 turns to kill the Scapegoats, and that's just turns you don't want him drawing into other cards.
If you have the Solemn, I mean, you can get the meta out of the way. I mean, unless you have like if he has a second monster to like put more pressure on, then I guess. But
it's just the amount of time.
Yeah,
Giving
that's
Sir Kaiser pure draws.
that could possibly give him 3 draws off that one Scapegoat. When you know his dead hand.
Like is Serikai, he's not even shuffling his hand too, so it's like a lot easier to read what he's using.
Well, we literally know every card, so it doesn't really matter if
I
he
guess
shuffles
that
his
doesn't
hand.
matter.
If he's gonna set something, it would. Yeah, that's something to watch out for is people normal summoning then immediately clicking your monster kind of makes it look like you're trying to attack it.
I don't get this one. Sichuan sauce time?
Sashawan.
Sorry.
That's just like I think that's just a popular sauce that's in America.
It was popular in 1994 with the release
Yeah.
of Mulan.
Yeah, that's what I get. That's the Rick and Morty reference I'm getting now.
Yep.
I've only seen a single
So far
episode
this-
of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, same.
John Wick is a huge Rick and Morty fan.
It's a good show.
You can probably learn a lot about somebody if they like Rick and Morty.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't think I would have attacked with Zombra. I guess we're on that. I'm just trying to like think critically, I guess, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't think Zombra's main. Or did he have Zombra the first game 1 too? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Oh, so his deck just plays every card in Go format.
Yeah.
I mean, here we go now. It's just top deck something good, or it's over.
He's got a plan.
A light. He needs a light.
This is a well thought out. Maneuver.
Sinister be pretty good. Snatch steal's pretty strong.
Yeah, Snatch could be.
Cyberjar would be a little unfortunate right now.
That would be a fun one. John Wick playing around the morphing jar.
Ah, sad.
Yeah.
Get that out of
That's
here.
garbage.
Got ring.
Well, could always top deck the cyber jar.
Got the
John Wick
GG in the
begging
chat.
for it.
I guess it doesn't matter if he's got a solemn set. It doesn't matter. He's just gonna solemn it. Yeah, it's done.
There we go.
Game 3. Come on, Zero
So
Kaizen.
Nothing too tricky from Sarah Kai's in that game. A lot of good answers for the Warrior deck, though. Suki's and Nobleman Exterminations.
Sorry, what did you say first? Nothing.
Nothing too crazy.
The set Domsalug I thought was quite crazy.
I meant card choices.
Okay. The nobleman onto the set Sasuke. Quite weird. Yeah, no, the card choices we didn't see anything new, I don't think.
He set
nothing
the Donzaloo as a follow up to his crossout, right?
Yeah. No, that was before. No? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's very questionable against a Warrior deck because there's not really anything less than 1500 that's going to swing into it.
But then again, John Wick would never consider that they set the Donsalug there.
I
This
mean,
is very
unless he
true.
was going to attack it with a second Donzaluk.
There you go. Wow, what a guy. Wish us good luck. What a sport.
Yeah,
Well
all my
understood.
interactions with Sarah Kaizen have been very pleasant.
Just seems like a great person. So, the face-up Sangan is always a bit vulnerable against a Donsalug. That Sir Kaisen is definitely a man with plan.
Do we see a Don or a Warrior Lady? Warrior Lady.
I mean, I would go for the Dawn.
Yeah, Siru
I just
hasn't
think
shown
it's-
any tomatoes, has he?
No.
It also
It's
depends
just-
highly on Ivan's hand.
Sure.
Like, if he doesn't have any good defensive follow-up, the Sangin can just search a Warrior Lady and swing over the Dawn, so...
Yeah, it does depend. But
Like, he might just have a bunch
leaving
of
the
Solemn.
leaving the body, just the body of the Dawn behind, I think is relevant enough that most of the time I would go with the Dawn there. So let's see here. No monsters on the side of John Wick. Are we going to grab a Donsalug and set it? We'll see. It's checking whether or not John Wick wants a solemn judgment to reinforcements of the army. Not sure if John Wick is... Oh? Maybe John Wick is considering it.
I think he may fake consider it, but he's probably not seriously considering it.
I mean, it could be that we're in for some sarcastic commentary.
Trying to figure out how you're married deck. How a little bit of entertainment value with Ivan.
Yeah. I bet. I love this guy, Sir Kaisen.
It's beautiful,
For
queen.
sure. Definitely a thing of beauty. There's the Donsalug.
Will we see another set?
I would assume. Whoa.
Oh, whoa.
Is that a misclick?
Switching it up.
Gotta keep on guessing. We never know. There's the secret server. I mean, the players are almost doing the commentary for us.
Yeah, right. I don't have to say anything.
Yeah. Yikes, I just declared attack yet. Man, this is great. Love it. So you could either trade the Donsalug for the secret server, or you could just leave your 1400 there. I mean, it's... Okay. There we go.
Trading Dawn on sack is usually fine.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely don't want to leave the Dawn exposed. Thinking. We're gonna see judgment here. I mean, that would kind of make sense. So I suppose that's not going to be the play.
Ooh.
Interesting.
That is a very interesting play.
Makes sense. So let's see if Sir Kaisen can protect this Dawn. Let's see if John Wick wants to attack into a battle trap, or whether they have a more conservative line.
Do you think John Wick kept in Nobleman?
No. I would guess not. Because we have the Scapegoat and Serpent and the Warriors, and Sangan, but we haven't really seen any flips, right? I don't even know if we have seen Magician of Faith. I don't think so.
I thought he did. 'Cause I think when I played him, I hit a Magician of Faith. I think.
3.
You sure?
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. Weird. There's the Graceful. Sir Kaisen here, debating whether or not to respond. There's the judge.
Ivan definitely has a solemn face
Very
down,
aggressive.
I think. Ivan set three back rows, right? How isn't one not a solemn?
Yeah,
you
one
think
should
want him to beat Solemn.
But I don't really want to.
Solemn though. I think you should Solemn, right? Because
For sure.
now you can just walk over the Dawn with pretty easily in your deck.
You
would
only
hope so.
Solemn if you can't beat the Dawn, as is. Because if I already have an answer to the Dawn, I'm gonna say my Solemn, right?
I mean, true, but like you could be in the potential now where like a BLS and a monster is a game.
Yeah,
Well-
yeah. I mean, it's you're in a great
Depending on
spot either way.
what cards you have in your
Like-
hand. I give you.
Yeah, it definitely
There's
depends on
light.
your hand, though. Oh,
Yeah,
Light
there you
Dark.
go. If he
This
drops-
might be
if he
game.
drops BLS and a monster. It's.
I think he's gonna summon a BLS. Huh? No.
Nope. Just a beater.
I wonder. Oh, so he was hoping to get the BLS into a monster.
I was
It's not
hoping for
AJ.
big dick energy.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not AJ. It's true.
That's okay. John Wick, not everyone can be as gifted. So, debating whether or not to run over with Stansalog or to let it be. Decides to attack verbally instead of actually clicking. Sir Kaisen
he asked.
insists for John Wick to actually attack. There we go. I don't know if Skill Dark actually can attack 3 times, but it did.
If it has 3 spell counters, that's its secret effect.
Ah, right, gotcha. So, I mean, this is still quite close. 4 cards each. So
Yeah,
Kaiser
like
could definitely
12.
take this one. And I think they have been making quite reasonable plays so far this game. And we do know that we have access to enemy controller in their 55.
I wouldn't have
Which
solved.
can-
I wouldn't have solved that graceful. What do you think of that play, Moxies?
You wouldn't have?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, I guess he really just didn't want to gain advantage, but I felt like that's when you like it's not a great way of using it. No, not when you only have a Dawn set, and you're
It made-
probably going to lose it regardless.
It made the Dawn look very vulnerable.
Yeah.
But I'm on the other side of things. I think we
maybe-
played this. I think we played the graceful because they can't run over the Dawn, and that's why I saw in the graceful to protect the Dawn.
Yeah. I just,
Okay,
I would.
Little
I would
strong.
You could have just solemn. You could just solemn the monster they play though. If
Yeah. If you're that crazy.
Yeah,
about
but then you let them have their graceful selection.
I see your point of it, but
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't think it's like.
great
I mean,
exile
I
there.
think it's debatable.
Oh, this is
This
going
is
to be.
game. Oh,
Yes,
never
this is-
mind. It's this game.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It's
No, is it?
Ivan
Yeah,
takes it
it's
down.
39.
He could have Karibo.
No.
He could have
Oh,
Karibo.
no.
Finally someone gets it.
Yes. Yes.
He had.
That's
He
what
had.
I'm saying.
No, don't say GG.
Oh,
Damn.
man.
You should have said declare for the log. No, that would have been great. Okay. John Wick wins that one, but there's no doubt who won our hearts.
Oh yeah, Sir Kaizen.
Thank you, Sir Kaiser, for being such a great sport. So, what match are we watching now?
I mean, I think did young sexy motherfucker and Mr. Bidding Noodle start? They did.
They're in the middle of a game, but
They do have the most.
This is a top 6
appropriate
match.
names.
Or sorry,
List.
yeah, top. This is for top 4, so I guess it's a better game to watch.
yeah. Mr. Big Noodle changing sleeves and avatar, getting a fresh painted coat for losers bracket.
Nice. I love his little custom. I mean, I have no idea if that's from a cartoon or not, but for him, he's been using it on his channel.
Looks cool.
So are we
Oh,
watching
does
Big Noodle
Mr.
now?
Big Noodle have a channel?
Yes.
Yeah, he's been streaming quite a bit actually recently. Ever
What's
since
his
ever
channel
since we
called?
had just called Mr. Big Noodle, I think. Ever since we had that conversation about how we need more people streaming, and then everyone told him, well, he should just do it, and then he actually has been.
Wow, nice.
Mr.
I
Big
really gotta
Noodle.
watch some of his content when. Oh,
He's got a
Mr.
really well stream, like a really well the layout is very nice.
that's a blowout.
Yeah, Mr. Big Noodle's deck is really teched out to take advantage. I think he's main decking 2 to 3 mind controls too. It's just meant to just abuse these decks.
Yeah, I'll quote what he wrote in the in-game chat earlier today. Why is there still a mind controller in here? I thought I sided all out. Which does imply to me that we're main decking perhaps even 3.
I don't.
Wow.
I think Mr. Big Noodle's deck. This is like the best possible matchup it could get.
Yeah, this is like the flippy kind of version, isn't
Yeah.
it? This one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This could be an auto kill.
This is the Mask of Darkness Holland.
That's a good play
Judgment
though that he
Jar
just did though. Like he attacked your SERP to make sure that set card was SERP and then used duo after.
for sure.
Like that's actually a
Very nice.
really good play.
Yeah, it's fun to see people improving.
I mean, yeah, that happens if you play a lot. You're naturally just gonna start getting it.
Yeah, it's weird like that.
That's an overstatement.
I mean,
Well-
we have this one guy who people didn't think too much of, and now he's just wrecking everyone with warriors.
Yeah, it happens. Oh wow, this is just looking real bad.
Well, you still gotta answer the
Kaiko and-
Zuki.
Kaiko and Necro Valley have negative synergy, right? Necro
No, I
Valley
think they-
counters your Kaiku.
Yeah, I mean it counters it that way. I think he's more just like have one, have the other.
Sorry. I guess the sarcasm doesn't come across very well.
Yeah, sorry. I guess you are.
Oh, no, that's okay. It's my bad. So do you have a book?
It is worth noting that Mr. Big Noodle kind of choked for the loss that they took. So maybe they got it together now and we'll be able to do better going forward.
But
Yeah,
was that the case of them choking?
I'm
really?
not sure it was because I think when we were talking about it that it made sense to help dodge Sakurai armor.
Yeah, I
I think
think
that's
I
what we're
like
saying.
that, Phelan.
That was also the Mirror Force match as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. The Mirror Force was definitely a little too aggressive.
Okay.
There's
never mind.
only AJ can get away with that.
I
Yeah,
think there
yeah.
was also a third thing that happened in that match.
The
too.
Nobleman of Extermination, Royal Decree thing.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was a bunch. Oh, nice book. Sweet.
Very nice. There was the book. I mean, I would flip that in a heartbeat.
I'm
But
really
that's
not.
That's
I'm,
good quality, especially if you want to improve. Just pause and think through your plays for a few seconds. That's when you learn, because if you don't think, you don't learn.
I wonder
I'm
if
really-
hopefully he's got another monster here.
I like that I'm seeing Decree being played. I made a video recently just talking about Decree, and I kind of felt like right now is a really good time for Decree to make an appearance, just because all the main decks are running between 8 to 12 traps. It seems like so. Cutting off a quarter of someone's deck is pretty brutal. It is interesting
He's
though.
really strong.
I wouldn't have really anticipated Necro Valley being played with Royal Decree though, because that eliminates Solemn Judgment from your arsenal. So it's a little like weird to me, just because it leaves yourself very vulnerable to Heavy Storm. But I mean, I guess if you got either one on board, I guess it just doesn't matter maybe. And maybe that's kind of like what's going on.
Yeah, I think you're just trying to not so much care about that, or just hope you don't get blown out by it.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty sick though. The Kaiku, the Necro Valley, the Royal Decree. It's like any one of those three on board is especially good against this deck.
Yeah.
Kaiku Decree is the answer to the format right now. Like, turn off half of your opponent's cards.
Yeah, I think that could definitely be the case. I'm not so sure about combining with them with the Necro Valley, as you guys are saying, that leaves you vulnerable to the storm. But yeah, Kaiku Decree, that has potential moving forward for sure. Do you switch the Serpent here? I would, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, leaves it.
That's
Cocky.
weird.
Well, he kind of might have got tricked into it too. Young Seki just
No,
took
no,
the
no.
300 off before he attacked, right?
Oh.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
People do that. Yeah, the mind games like that.
Yeah, I do that too.
He might have swung with the serpent first too, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's not really it doesn't really make sense to do that. So he might have just seen the 300 go down and then just said, okay, I'll just do it.
Whenever I spot an easy mistake from my opponent, like they could make an easy mistake, I act as if it's an obvious play.
So that was MF's turn where he'd be able to another turn where he's able to summon a chaos if he did not have it apparently.
Had nothing to run over the Kaiku.
That's unfortunate.
So
I
what could
really
that be?
like.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could be Faith.
I was about to say a good loaded grave if that is Faith.
So if it's not Faith, what is it?
I think it's Faith. He's looking at grave.
It could be Serpent.
He did have Serp already. But if he's
Yeah.
saying then there's no way.
Yeah, Noodle is.
Because Noodle's not playing premature. I would guess not at least.
No.
That's also kind of weird. Play Mind Control along with Necro Valley. You steal their Faith and then, oops. But I guess at that point you don't flip it.
Pot of
Right.
greed.
It looks like a good one.
Best card in Yu-Gi-Oh right there.
You could even grab a Necro Valley, but that's probably a bit much. Better
I
to
mean,
pot of
you
greed
already
into a
got
Necro Valley.
you have the Kaiku on field, so you can remove the light and dark. It's already turning off the chaos, so.
But I wanted to make the Heavy Storm top deck even better.
Isn't that's game?
That's game. That's exact lethal. 37. So attacking for 300 decided that game actually, to be fair.
That's true.
Maybe they had the tribe. No, wait, then we wouldn't have gone for the pot.
They just potted for it. But it worked out. I mean, what's working out is that Mr. Big Noodle literally built this deck to win this match.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, that's a good call, right?
I guess when I was told Ghost Rider and him built it together to purely just destroy chaos, and then Ghost Rider ended up getting matched against Mr. Big Noodle round 1 and losing after helping him build the deck.
I mean, honestly, this obviously is built to beat chaos, but if you put triple Decree, triple Spy into your deck, how bad could your Warrior matchup be?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not.
that's probably playable. Maybe not with mind controls, but you could probably make it playable if you'd like.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're going to build a deck to like wreck chaos, that's probably the best way to combat, like at least give you a somewhat good matchup against Warriors, is to do a Spy and Decree.
Yeah, the Necro Kaiko Decree Trinity. It's cool. It's cool.
That's the new Trinity.
Yeah, the new Trinity. The anti-meta Trinity.
He's gonna have a tough road though, because if he wins this match, I mean, and then if Lucas wins his match, it'd be Mr. Big Noodle would have to beat 3 Warrior players in a row.
It's pretty much all Warrior left, right? John
Yeah.
Wick's on Warrior, Luke is on Warrior, Taz is on Warrior, AJ's on Warrior.
So it's gonna be a tough tale for him.
I mean,
I don't know what deck-
when's the next tournament? I really want to play now.
Clash is next.
Clash.
Yeah.
What
I can't compete in Clash. I won a sneak peek once. Does that count? We were
Yeah, no,
12 people.
I mean, it's
So
quite the
Clash of
accomplishment.
Champions Clash of Champions is coming up April 25th?
25th.
Sunday from 25th. It's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Anyone who has won a Shonen Jump, a Nationals, a Luxury Championship Series, a ARG, a YCS is eligible to play. It does not matter when you won the tournament, what format. If you are a champion, you are able to enter. Free entry. First place will get a GOAT Format World Championship invite.
It's gonna be
I'm
it's
really
5
stoked
days
for
after my 30th birthday as well.
Oh wow, cool. Nice. So when's your birthday then?
April 20th.
Nice.
So it's kind of interesting to see the like Royal Decree decks function doing pretty well. Like it won that last tournament, has a chance of winning this tournament. I guess like how like Warrior decks adjusting to that trend in the metagame. I guess we'll likely see more Book of Moons being played as a result. Just to
Yep, it has. I actually transitioned my side to if I play people who do that, I personally, and I know some of the other players have, is what we've done is we bring in Azura Priest, Tsukiyomi, and Book of Moons, and we lower our trap count to like 7 just to help combat the decree, and then you use your monsters to handle their scapegoats and their Thousand Eyes Restrict and whatever else, or whatever cards you need, bring in Cliff, whatever. Use your monsters as your like power cards to deal with that instead.
Because
Yeah.
often against these decks with Decree, your battle traps are not going to be that great anyway against these archetypes.
Yep.
Do you think with like something that comes to mind is maybe scapegoat heavy decks like Goat Control could maybe gain a little bit more popularity if Decree becomes a big trend, because if it shuts down less of the deck, and I imagine Thousand Eyes Restrict also performs pretty well against decks running Decree. I mean, I guess they also likely run Book of Moon, but if they don't have the book immediately, Thousand Eyes Restrict could pose a pretty big threat, taking a beat stick and
I think you're spot on.
I agree that I think in order to combat these warrior decks, Thousand Eyes and Scapegoat do have a chance to make a comeback here. Alright, let's go.
Strong opening by Mr. Big Noodle. Interesting,
Yeah.
he dumps the MST. I wonder if he's gonna have another decree.
I think so.
So Young MF lost round 1 and is on a 6-game win streak right now.
Yeah, that's such a rough road. Very well done from them.
Had a couple of that because Jago did the same last qualifier.
Yeah, that was just absurd. What did they win? Like 10 in a row?
Yeah,
And
some
then build it with
crazy.
a tournament? That was absurd.
gotta say I'm a big fan
So-
of Big Noodle's sleeves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're
custom.
sweet.
They're really cool.
Did he make them himself, or do you know?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure.
Oh wow.
Oh,
I love
that's
this.
unfortunate.
Now he could get any Gravekeeper. If he's got
Yeah.
Necro, if he has a Necro Valley, he could answer this by itself later, but I guess not. He's gonna put it in defense.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Don't want it to be run over by a random Kaiku or Tomato. Such. Wow. Speaking of Kaiku.
Yeah, the Mind Control Spy cannot attack.
Young realized.
And again, Kaiku Decree on the board.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, this is so rough because Luster Darkness can't even add the traps. Not that
I'm
they
guessing
would do
I'm
anything.
guessing Mask got sided out of here.
But Does
Maybe.
the deck function? I don't know. I guess. I don't know.
Now he could have roted for this Don and hit him direct instead of summoning the Kaiku.
Yeah, that's
I-
strange. Maybe
that
he's
would've
just
dropped
gonna.
his-
done
so
that
weird.
better.
That would have gave a potential Chaos Sorcerer play though.
Yeah,
Oh, this is absurd.
This is a
And now that Donsalug looks very silly.
There was no reason to rote for that Don.
I mean, maybe it's
Yeah.
the last target, I guess.
yeah. I mean, if you weren't going to use it, you're right. It doesn't make any sense to use your rotor right then and there.
Last target, yeah, is the only reason you would, but that means you're playing Rota with 2 targets.
And Gorilla's nice.
This Gorilla's gonna have to attack defense spy next turn. Oh, it ain't gonna be here.
I like that we see Gorilla. I think it's very fun to see that card seeing play. Do you know who was prepared for a Berserk Gorilla?
Sakurai, whatever his name
Oh,
is.
yes.
Sirikaisen.
Sirikaisen with the
Sirikaisen
enemy
was
controllers.
prepared. For sure. So we got a bit of a standstill here. Big Noodle a bit behind on resources, but the strategy is that this Royal Decree could cancel out multiple cards from Young Sex's side, and so the deck from Mr. Big Noodle doesn't really function on a traditional basis and resources in that way. It tries to lock the opponent out, so I think I wouldn't be as worried if I was Mr. Big Noodle than if I was playing some other deck.
Guess he
Another
just
Gorilla.
drew into the gorilla.
And the gorilla has to attack into the spy.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see this deck from Mr. Big Noodle. Definitely some creative deck building going on there.
Very cool. Shout out to Noodle and Ghost Rider.
Well, if he does win, the Warrior matchup isn't unattainable. I mean, Decree, Berserk Gorillas, those main deck mind controls, if there is 3 of them, is going to be rough though.
Yeah. Feels like that's a bit excessive. So the gorilla has to attack.
Because
There's nobleman.
you combine 3, well, you combine 3 mind controls with 2 noblemen. That is 5 dead cards against Warrior.
Yeah,
which is
that's a lot. Maybe there's only 2 mind control, but
Not to mention Necro Valley is not that good against Warrior either. If you don't have a Gravekeeper
Wait,
on
why
board.
would he do that after? Doesn't he? He takes 500 now.
Yep.
Oh, that is weird. Yeah, it doesn't misplay.
I mean this is the Mr. Big Brains Big Noodle special.
And now he has to take 500 every turn.
Yeah, that's a big mistake.
I love it. They no.
I mean, you could switch it to defense next turn, I guess, if you want.
That's a bad sign. I think Mr. Big Noodle is going to be a little bit tilted after that. So hopefully that's not a compounding mistake where he gets a little bit emotional and is a little bit like disappointed for doing that.
Although playing the Necro may have been the right move, because here comes the Thunder Dragon.
Yeah, no, it was definitely correct afterwards.
Yeah. Very slight error.
Of course, if he draws into a storm here, it's not going to be a good time.
Yeah, Heavy Storm
6
would
cards in
bust
hand.
this open.
Damn, nothing.
I
But
mean,
spy
Young
set.
is just content waiting.
This could be game right here. If spy set and a normal summon.
Yeah. So scary.
I mean, what else would you even set besides a spy?
Warrior Lady, Sagan, the Donsalug.
No, well, it wouldn't be Warrior Lady because you would have just attacked with Warrior Lady and then got your damage in. There's only one spy up.
Sure. So
Could
it's
be.
probably
But
the
Sangan makes
Donsalug then?
sense, yeah. Or yeah, he could have just set the Dawn for to try and maximize his potential later.
Oh.
It's gonna pop his gorilla. Why? Take the 500.
Yeah, take the 500.
Yeah, what's going on here?
That was terrible.
Yeah, you can. Just why would you?
Be interesting to see into Mr. Big Noodle's mind right now.
I feel like he just lost the game.
What? Lost the game?
Yep, they're switching that gorilla.
That bad?
It's definitely not a good. It's definitely not a good play.
I agree.
Just like that card could be the difference between like a one-turn kill if he draws the right card.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
So I would imagine Mr. Young Sexy could have a book, but maybe you can't even fit books into this deck.
Like, he just gained 1,000 off Upstart. What are you worried about 500 damage for? I think he got tilted.
This is another biting him in the ass about the Rhoda too, right? Because that Rhoda could have been saved for this spy for a lady.
Yep,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's something.
that's a huge one.
That's something.
Mr. Big Noodle isn't known to be the best player in the community,
That's a good card though.
but this tribe.
Kills his
very
own. Yeah,
strong.
that's fine. But see, this is it. If he has Gorilla here, this
Yeah.
could be game.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, that would have
Gorilla.
been game.
That yeah
would have
man.
been game.
Oh no.
But this is still a good spot.
No, this is a really strong spot still.
Young Sexy
That's something to be
kinda
very-
have to have a Storm, right? Or an MSD. Or a Breaker.
Yeah, or his own tribe, I guess.
Sure.
But it's definitely
Breaker
something
has
to
been
be
used.
mindful of. Is I think it's really important to be not too hard on yourself whenever you make a mistake, because those, like, a small mistake can lead into compounding mistakes if you let it get to you. So I think it's one of the qualities of being like a top player is just just moving on and not getting hung up on things like that.
Noodle wins this? This is so great. I love this.
I think we said literally to turn off 20 cards with that between Necro and Kaiku combo.
Yeah, this is what happens though when you have a well-built deck. Like you can kind of fumble. Not saying he's fumbling, but he's definitely not playing optimal, Mr. Big Noodle, and he's kind of like just winning because his deck is just built really, really well.
His deck is built so that if I dodge Storm, it doesn't matter how I play. And that's kind of
Yeah.
what's happening here.
Well, crazy. Mr. Big Noodle is a top 4. That's crazy.
Wow.
Good. Jump back into John Wick's match.
Man, I really feel like playing in one of these tournaments now.
Yeah. I played in this tournament.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry, which match?
John Wick.
Again, smell my finger.
I said I refuse to even say his opponent's name.
Oh, so he's playing against Smell My Finger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
SMF.
Against who?
That guy actually just direct messaged me recently, just within the last hour. We were talking a little bit of poker. I guess he plays poker tournaments as well.
If Ivan's got a Psalm set, it's just game. Flip it. Oh, he's already gone through 2 Psalms, so
So I can really appreciate the dandelion sleeves along with the snowman eater profile. I think it works nicely.
Desperate for cards. Oh wait, does he have two? Does he have a TD? Yeah, he's got one TD and something else. But he's just praying he draws into a BLS here.
Chaos Sorcerer would also be good. Spy would be
Yeah.
good. What's a set monster? I didn't catch it. Play Knight, okay. Spy? Yeah, there we go. And we could be here for a while. This is... Every now and then the war player just struggles to out this. And life totals are so low that... I mean, this is a toss-up.
Both rings gone.
Yeah, so it's gonna end on an actual fight.
And one would think, wow, John has used double judgment, and we know that the previous card is not a judgment. So wow, this could be really good. Use the Chaos Sorcerer, pass the turn, and then next turn lethal. So what could John Wick have? Mirror Force, Dust Shoot, Dust Tornado, MST, Duo.
So in this scenario, I think he actually should have put that sorcerer in defense because he could lose to BLS now.
Oh, just another game. We're having some words. Everyone's on tilt tonight, eh? Or
I
today.
mean, it's only in the John Wick games, to be fair.
Ah, that's true.
We have a very friendly and healthy community, and I think most people would agree. Oh,
Nice.
that's so huge.
Let's
That's-
go
There
off
we
the
go.
top.
Flip it. Flip this. Your monster deck.
Just do it.
Oh,
That's the dust shoot. That's a delinquent duo. Nope. Oh, what is it? A faith?
yeah, that would have to be right. Because what are you?
Yeah, I think that's a
What are
faith.
you not attacking?
Has to be a faith.
Serpent.
Flip the faith. Bring back the. Wow, you don't really have anything.
Nope.
See,
Card
but
shoot.
yeah, you have to be careful though, because if you flip the faith, you can just lose to an attack.
No. You flip the faith and grab a book and attack for
Yeah.
300.
That's really yeah.
Oh wow, this is so nice.
He definitely doesn't have
So
a
it's-
faith set.
Why not?
He would have
There's no
he would have booked he would have flipped it for book first before sowing the breaker to fade ring.
Yeah, both rings were gone, but that does make sense though. Still,
The rings were gone.
Both
and
rings
the
are gone.
torrential
Okay.
was gone. I
Okay.
don't think it matters.
oh,
Yeah, and SMF has received a slow play warning for this game.
which is kind of awkward considering how much he was trying to hurry the pace of this game up. These brackets side up. Just get some more legendary talking.
Alright, let's go. Pot of Greed.
Always a strong one.
If anyone ever wondered if karma was real, there's the Kaiku. So, I guess you want to just set the spy here. to be honest. Or tomato. Storm, obviously good one. Does not use faces. Maybe John could flip the dash shoot here and gain an advantage. Yeah. Always use faces, otherwise you're opening yourself up to revealing information. You don't have to. And it's so obvious as well because you often when someone sets 2 cards in one is a dust shoot.
It actually could have been advantageous for John Wick there to let that breaker try to do something.
Yeah, if Finger would have targeted immediately, it could have been awkward. So, Gravekeeper Spy, Regeki Break, Trench Tribute, Book of Moon, Seed is the Serpent, and the Breaker was sent back. MST is flipped to hit either the Torrential Book or Regeki Break. Likely to be a Regeki Breaker Book. I would assume the other card to be a break since you don't really want to, or sorry, the book, since you don't really want to set the Torrential behind your Spy. So with less information, probably want to grab a Mystic Swordsman here, but the book is a bit annoying. Nobleman obviously great.
And there also is the unlikely scenario that is Torrential Tribute Sinister Serpent set.
Yeah, that's actually, but yeah, setting the break and the yeah, I mean, could be. Mental warfare going on in the chat. What's more happening over there than in the actual game? Let's see if. Oh, drew the skill dark. That's huge. That's so strong. So that's. I mean. Yeah, I'm not a judge. Skill dark runs over the Kaiku.
So Skill Dark, Spy, and Book of Moon set. Pretty formidable.
Torrential Serpent in hand. This looks so good for a Finger.
It's a pretty formidable field.
Got to say, I'm not a huge fan of the chiding banter back and forth. Seems to be getting a little personal.
It's beginning be a bit excessive.
Hey, here's my scenario where you prefer it not to be a spellcaster, potentially.
Are you referring to
His love for Archfiend.
Yeah, I suggested that as well. I had a discussion with James Ark.
That's
about
interesting,
it.
yeah. Because I guess the face summon's a spy, so he can wipe the field. Uh-huh.
Wow, this is an awesome book, or awesome snatch. I think he should have played it first, though.
Yeah,
Huh.
but this is still pretty good.
Wouldn't it have
Now,
been
do you
better?
kill
This is
the?
a bit awkward.
I
This
don't-
is a
you-
bit awkward.
Yeah, do you attack into the spies, or do you attack into the guy that can kill your tribe? I guess you gotta
Oh,
attack
you
the
definitely
skill.
attack the skill dark.
And this is
because-
why it's better than Archfiend Soldier.
Serpent and Torrential. Don't
Yeah,
really-
right.
So yeah, Archfiend would have had a 1500. So that would actually have been worse here.
Premature burial would be okay.
I mean, a move would be really nice at all.
Yeah. I'm speaking to TK. Because this is definitely not what we came here to see. Alright.
Come on, Ivan. Let's not get yourself in trouble.
I mean, yep.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the snatch still play because could he have not have just swung into the face down
Yeah, the snatch.
and then main phase
Thing is,
2?
when we flipped the book onto the tribe,
Right.
you knew it was a book.
Fair.
This I like.
That's fair.
But yeah, the Kaiku is going to
It's gonna
bite the
lose to the
dust,
tribe.
but it seems worth it to me.
Now, do you leave the spy here?
No, you reanimated the Kaiku just to trade for the spies.
That will leave him on torrential sinister though, so he's gonna be locked against the sinister. He won't be able to summon anything against it.
Eh. I'll give him the 2-for-1.
I'm not sure. I might do nothing, but
But
Like
once
force-
you premature
like
the
force-
Kaiku, you have to
yeah,
look
I mean
at
that's
this line.
true.
Whether or not to take this line, that's interesting, because I would probably not.
But like,
have.
yeah, I just won't do it because maybe I can force him to TT and not use one of my cards. That or commit like you know what I mean like commit a summon and force him to TT, or just do it on your next turn and then get more damage in. I don't know. I
mean,
guess
I would have just killed the Skilled Arc and passed into the Spy Serpent Torrential. That seems
yeah.
like a favorable position.
The thing is, it's not like there's a better card to discard. I guess you could draw Dust Shoot. I want to discard that. I don't see why you switch the tribe to defense either.
I mean, maybe he's just worried about like the top deck Mirror Force, and then he kept TT in hand.
Seems very more risky
Yeah.
that it's gonna get ran over. And now, if you want to discard for the tribe, you're gonna have it in defense with no Kaiku out.
Yeah, that snatch after tribe is actually going to come out and bite him in the butt because he didn't have to
Yeah, it
commit to
looks
tribe
like
at
it.
all, right? Because he could have just pre-med the Kaiko and ran over skilled and kept tribe for later. So this is an awkward spot.
Deal with the banter. Okay, so what's the game plan here? It's Finger's turn.
I mean, if I was him, I'm probably just chilling.
Yeah, but the tribe is a bit annoying in the long term. But I guess the Kaiku is always good.
Yeah, but that's the
to-
thing, right? Like your spies only technically a 1-card value because you special summon another one, and then he's gonna have to discard a card to kill his own Kaiku and 2 spies. That really was only a 1-card advantage.
How do you feel about
You could
switching
throw
a
one.
spy running over the
Yeah.
tribe?
Throw one spy at the tribe. What the hell is he doing?
Yeah,
A
that's
second
strange.
Kaiku?
Huh.
I have no idea what he's planning here. He could also just torrental him right now terribly too.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
maybe that's what he's thinking, right? Because if he doesn't TT here, then he can no, actually, because he'll just kill his own Kaikus. Yeah, that is not good regardless.
I guess if he torrentals you, you call a Kaiku is good.
I mean, I disagree with both players' plays. Every other turn, I feel.
Maybe Ivan has like a mirror
I
force.
don't
set?
see the purpose of summoning this Kaiku.
Yeah, because now you've pretty much committed that you're not gonna tribe like the rest of as long as these cards are on the field. You can't really tribe.
Unless you have call set.
I
Yeah.
don't get what's happening at all.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have torrentaled that either. Why even bother?
Mm-hmm.
It almost feels like Ivan is trying to bait
Like,
out.
if he torrentaled and
attack.
you wanted to Solomon even, that's still terrible because then you're going to lose both your Kaikus.
It almost seems like Ivan's trying to bait out an attack.
Yeah, if he's trying to do that though, he's not really respecting his opponent that much because that would be like a really really bad play.
Why would it be bad?
Well, I mean, why would you attack into those cards to get rid of him when right now he has to use like a tribe or something else to get rid of his spies, and it would kill like half of his own field.
Yeah.
And then worst case scenario, he summons a like a Grandmaster Suzuki, and then you can torrential.
And MST's gone, so John Wick can't even snipe the torrental with anything.
Yeah, unless he can like get a dust tornado or something and just hope. Like he's committing a lot of monsters to you know, one of those back row cards just it has to be Solemn at this point, right? Because why are you committing this many monsters if you even know that that's torrential?
Yeah, I mean,
Because like you're just playing into like an auto loss. Like that one of those cards has to be a way around TT.
but even at that point, it's not like it's a good thing to judgment the TT.
I don't even like setting here.
Yeah, no,
I
I
don't
would-
understand anything either player is doing.
It'll be interesting to
That's
watch
what
the replay and see what their face downs and stuff were, because it's quite odd what's happening right now. And I think Ivan is a good player, so there must be some like reason behind what he's doing. And it may
No,
I think he just walked himself into a freaking trap.
I think it's tilted or flustered beyond comprehension here.
Yeah.
I don't think he's playing well right now.
you think he got emotionally involved and is just making some mistakes.
I
The
mean, I
only-
can't explain it otherwise.
The only thing I could think was he really was hoping that Kaiku was going to get torrentaled, and that when that didn't work, this plan just really fell apart. Because he had like call
That's
for
a
it.
horrible bet, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not a good bet.
So odd. By the way, Scully, Discord.
That's going to be sinister.
The fact that he's leaving his guys in defense mode, it kind of makes me think he's got like a mirror force or something face down, or
He 100% has to have a torrental. I mean, a solemn judgment for the torrental.
it's just weird to see Tribe and Kaiku both just chilling in defense.
Yeah, and now that he set the 5th card, if one of those two isn't Suzuki, you've kind of just locked yourself out of even using that as an out.
Yeah. Little odd. He might have just maybe he just set a faith or something, or I don't know.
That has been a trend for a lot of these players that have been playing lugs lately. A lot of the warrior players have been doing that.
But you can't even flip it.
Yeah, you're right, because it'll just TT. So yeah, I want.
What's going on?
You think
So
he's
it's
been?
just-
You know, the only thing I can think of is maybe he's been setting himself up low for like a really, really long con, like one turn kill. I don't know.
Yeah, I
doesn't-
mean,
it still doesn't answer the fact that Kaiku's gonna have to die, and the second one should never made sense to be summoned.
so if the Tarantula isn't flipped, now you activate the tribe, and then
See
you
now,
have a
yeah.
3-1.
See now, if I'm him, I think you might have to like turn it because if he doesn't torrential now, yeah. So.
Yeah, you Tarantula now, but this is still not like a good thing for John Wick. Is it?
Smashing, double smashing
I-
round.
I guess you flip Judgment, and then use the tribe. I mean, this is...
Wow.
Oh.
What am I seeing? I mean, at least he didn't get a SERP that time. He actually got a card. Yeah, see, this is what I was thinking.
So-
He was probably setting that this would have been
It's
a one turn
the
kill if
Chaos
he
Sorcerer.
didn't. Oh.
Is this the ring?
Does,
But that
does he have the
doesn't
call?
Because this is going to be so big brain if it actually is ring.
No, this
Okay,
is,
what it isn't.
oh, this is not it.
But
But
isn't it-
it looks like it's what I said. It looked like he was hoping he didn't commit to something like that. He was just going to go for the one turn kill because he would have killed both of his Kaikos and then he would have summoned Skill Dark and BLS and won the game in one turn.
Okay, no, this is just...
Ivan
I'm out of
must
here.
have ring face down, if I had to guess.
So you think he doesn't have solemn Moxies?
I think he does, but
Yeah, I think it does.
I think that's why you bait out the Trenchals because then you can go for a bigger play after. But
Yeah, I mean...
It still doesn't add up to the second Kaiku summon.
yeah,
I mean, all of this doesn't add
oh,
up.
it was
Where's the Mirror
was
Force?
on Mirror Force. That's true.
This is just...
I hope
I
it's
mean,
solemn down.
this shouldn't work. This should not work.
He might
Guess
have.
it's not solemn.
He might have the solemn.
No,
It's
he
gotta
How
would-
be
does this work?
It's
he
got.
would have just attacked.
Yeah, he's just putting it in his face.
I don't even know what I just watched. I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta.
That's disgusting.
Well, hell of a duel. Good job. John
I
Wick.
refuse to believe that was well played. And still with the banter.
And SMF
Alright.
already done fight in.
I'm not enjoying myself. I'll go do something else. Thank you for having me. I had a great time doing this commentary today.
All right,
Thanks,
see you,
Lucas.
I'm pretty impressed. I've been sitting here for 6 hours and been having a good time the whole time. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Just wait till you're playing in it.
All right. Yeah, then I'll have all the pressure, people pointing out my mistakes.
Yeah, it's easy to say what's right or wrong from above.
Yeah, it's funny. I even noticed like whenever I play Undueling Book, when people will like sit in and watch it, I almost don't like it because it just makes me a little bit more like conscious that someone's watching, and I'd rather just like be in my zone and be focusing on what's happening and not worry about what anyone else thinks.
So Pot agreed, Thunder Dragon. Very
Oh, wow.
strong opening.
I have very mixed feelings about Thunder Dragon too.
So Pot agreed set monster is always scary because your opponent could potentially just run away with the game.
Yep. So out of curiosity, how many people remain in the tournament at this point?
6, I think.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're down to the end here.
Nice.
About
Ivan
five
just
matches
messaged
left.
me and he said that his plan was to try and bait out the TT to go for a 1-turn kill, and he misclicked. He accidentally misclicked summoning the Kaiku, and he couldn't take it back.
Oh, okay, because that was the only part of the plan where I was like, the second Kaiku makes 0 sense.
Yeah, he's just like, I was trying to bait out the TT so I could go for a 1-turn kill, and I accidentally misclicked summon this second Kaiku. I'm like, whoops.
He just messaged you that?
Yeah.
And he's gonna duo, gonna hit a Thunder Dragon and a Sorcerer.
That's usually correct, right? Because if this is a set Regeki break, you want to give as much possible chance of getting out other cards.
Watch it be a Sangan. Nope, not a Sangan.
That's okay. That's usually an okay trade.
You have the Nobleman.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah, if you have
protecting
no
it.
minute, it's really powerful.
Him protecting it, that's very likely a Faith, and that's going to be
Yeah,
very,
so if it's Faith or
that's pain.
He's probably gonna have to Solemn if it's Faith. Spy. Do you Solemn the Spy? We saw how much work it was to get rid of the spies last game.
Flip,
Torrential, perhaps?
Yeah, I was gonna say when you hear flip fine, it just kind of it's either mind gamey or it's like he's waiting for a torrential. My dust shoots.
So, quite a bit of card advantage even after this dust shoot here.
My only, I was actually thinking about this exact thing with Dust Shoot and stuff. Is if you're playing Dust Shoot, you have to be very anal about like phases and stuff and priority.
Yeah,
It was like one of the things where I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to deal with that. But
dust shoot's been kind of fun. I remember last year or even like 2 years ago, like most people thought that most people would just hold dust shoot. Like it was a lot more common to hold dust shoot and try and get value out of it from an MST or whatever breaker. Nowadays, it's just the second they pass Prio, it's flipped.
The meta was a lot different then, though. Like,
Yeah.
it was kind of
each
goat
time-
control against chaos at that point, where holding it made a little more sense.
each time someone sets a card, though, priority passes back to you. So, yeah, I could see merit both ways for sure.
So Sakaretsu, Solemn, Night Assailant, Thunder Dragon for SMF.
Yeah, not a super strong hand, but I mean, I guess he has outs for aggression.
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, take that back.
John could actually probably just normal summon something and pass would be okay. But then you do have to deal with the...
Oh, nice. That's good.
Do you Solemn?
I don't think you can.
No, I wouldn't Solemn that either.
Solemn seems to be a very popular card this tournament.
It's been popular lately. All the turbo players have been transitioning into using Solemns now too, or at least a majority of them.
Yeah, I was really big on Solemn for a minute, but I've actually been finding I'm actually shocked because I've always been very gung ho on Solemn and stuff. But as of late, I've just been noticing my decks have naturally been like taking them out, which I'm not sure if that's a great thing or not.
Yeah, I'm not in love with Solomon.
I feel like
getting
it.
turbo.
I think maybe what it is like it loses when everyone's running Solemn, it might like lose a little bit of its power just because at a certain point it can come down to who draws more Solemns. So sometimes it's better to step outside that game and just use a different like approach.
So Snatch was a potential answer for these spies here.
Yeah, kind of interested. He
kept something over it.
But he set. I'm thinking that's probably a set Faith then. Try and get like if you're going to drop Snatch Deal, then you really value that card that he just set. And what actual warrior monster are you doing that for?
Yeah, you're not. Very likely a Faith.
Yeah, that Snatch could have just forced the Solemn or the Sakaretsu out.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I think it's Faith even more, because he must really think that he can get away with a Faith into another Graceful.
And I don't think I would have attacked this.
Now that is interesting.
Do we still think it's a Faith?
Yeah, maybe not.
If you flip summon it, instead of it being attack, you could get Solemned.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Oh.
Maybe he wants it to get Solemned because he has a Solemn.
Really weird.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I haven't known what's going on this whole game.
That's really, really weird. Like a Morphine Jar doesn't make sense either. Like, ugh. Huh.
Yeah, I have no idea.
What's the Faith? That's super interesting. He didn't let the attack go through then.
Yeah, maybe he wants it to get triggered so then he can follow up with like a BLS and protect it with a Solemn.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
I mean,
yeah, maybe some crazy shit like that. But like that set card is
that
like,
actually
got
that,
NA, right?
That's
so that can, and sack, yeah. So you don't really have you can't really like fight through that without a storm.
Well, if he solemns the Faith, then he has a solemn for like you don't let the Faith get solemned, and then you have the solemn to prevent his Saku or whatever.
Yeah, but he's got Night Assailant too, so he's got you can't fight through the Night Assailant too.
Oh, you can banish it, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's a little bit behind. I don't know. It seems I don't know. We'll see what he gets here.
Yeah, this will be a very interesting match to like look at the the cards and have them all exposed. Yeah. Because what in the heck?
Interesting letting this Graceful go through as well is because now you're going to have to, if he drops a Light and Dark, you're going to probably have to answer it, right? If he summons a Chaos Monster. I suppose you don't, if it's not BLS, you don't have to solemn it. Book. So this we gotta assume is gonna lose out to Sakuretsu.
You'd think, right?
Now we could, yeah, force this Night Assailant.
That's a good play.
Follow up with a Chaos Monster.
Yeah. TT Solemn could be pretty good here, though.
I think he would have got more value out of that Snatch deal.
Yeah, I mean, now that I'm looking at it, yeah. I also think keeping the Mirror Force was probably better, too.
Ivan really wants that burrito, it seems like. I think Spy is probably a pretty good meta call in general right now because Warrior is so popular.
And I have heard people wanting to like take it out of their deck too.
Yeah, I think that's bad. I actually think Spy is actually really good. Like even in the mirror match, it can because 2000 defense is actually really hard for like another turbo player or another chaos control player to handle, unless they're like using their like Thousand Eyes restrict on it to gain it. But like other than that, they don't have a lot of normal summons that can just deal with that, or they have to commit an early chaos monster, which is also not very good.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of force them to take the initiative, and then you can follow up and have answers to their chaos. So, yeah.
Tributing Night Assailant for Thunder Dragon to poke is, I don't know how much I like that.
It took him off getting dust shooted.
Yeah, that's true.
I think SMF's gonna end up dropping another Chaos Monster next turn though.
Manex, yeah, I guess you're talking about a Spy. Yeah, I think Spy is a really great
Nice.
card right now.
Sell the book. No. Is there any other cards left that we know from that first dust shoot? Besides the Solemn?
Saku, Solemn, TD, nope. Oh wait, Breaker? Is there Breaker? No, that's what we put back, sorry.
A BLS.
Yeah.
BLS.
That is game.
Yeah, I mean that. Like, what are you gonna do? He's got a Solemn to back it up. It's done.
Yep.
See, now this is an interesting spot, right? Because if he would have kept that Mirror Force for a lot longer, he would have just been like to fight this off.
Yep.
Okay, well, congratulations to whatever this guy's Discord's name is.
Fold them up.
Fold him up.
Who will now take on Duff.
BLM what?
Another player. That's another guy. I lost to both these guys who've made a young, sexy, and Duff. I lost to both these guys. Crazy.
Well, Young Sexy's out.
He's now out. Yeah. Duff's just using like an aggressive chaos turbo. Bunch of like Kaikos, like 3 Kaikos. What was it, like a couple months ago? 3 Kaikos in turbo was a lot more common.
Yeah, and people have actually cut it down to like 1 for the main for a lot of these decks. Good break.
Watching all these games is giving me a lot of ideas for my own decks.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked. I'm stoked to have you and a bunch of other returning players for this Clash of Champions. I'm actually really excited for this tournament. It's kind of like a how do I word it? It's like a small preview of Worlds, if you know. Like there's just a lot of like top tier players playing in it, so it's kind of like a fun little tournament for a lot of people to watch.
Mm-hmm.
That was the part of the point of doing it, was to be at like the halfway point to Worlds.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
So they have started the game.
They have started. Awesome. Let's go hop into that. And we're looking for
SHAHRUKH223, who we have not seen play yet.
And who's he playing against? That might be easier.
Against the guy
Oh,
we just watched.
I gotcha. Shahrukh. Okay. So we have a Chaos Turbo versus Unknown at this point.
Yes.
Awesome. Got a little T-set action. Turn 1. Got a ballsy
Caught
play.
a Deco.
Were you a current format player, Moxies?
Yes, I took a break.
Have they ever printed a trap that just says destroy 1 monster on the field?
Destroy 1 monster on the field.
Yeah, with nothing else.
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they just have cards that are just way better than that, so I don't think it would be a card that would even ever come up. But not that I can think of off the top of my head. I think there's archetype built-in cards that do that, but not like a generic. That would just be too slow, way too slow. We got cards now that say banish every single card in your opponent's field until they match you in cards with evenly matched. So,
but it is odd if like such a simple effect never
got printed. Yeah, I can't really think of anything that says just destroy 1 card on the field for no cost.
I guess because it would either be really good or useless.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny that they even like power creeping. You think that would just be a card that would have just naturally came up because you got cards like Regeki that are Dark Hole that just blow up the whole field. So you think something like a quick play, even like a quick play. Oh, I guess if you want it to be a trap, then it'd be kind of a trap though that does that would be kind of bad.
Either way, like neither I don't think ever got made.
Yeah, like I could see a quick play spell that does that being okay. Well, at least for like certain formats back in the day.
I don't think a trap that did that would be bad. I mean, especially in Goat. I mean, seems like it'd be really good. It'd be like a Sakuretsu that hits anything.
Yeah, Goat is be good, but like a trap card's like a whole turn slower, right? So it would be kind of like you have to set it and does nothing, and then wait for them on their turn.
Yeah, it's just funny that like the game got that far without that card ever being made.
Does Dark Core you have to banish, right? You have to discard to banish.
And it's only a face up.
Oh wow.
Should be to the Doom to be closer, but
Dark Core came out with DD Warlady, right? So it's go
Dark
format.
Crisis, yeah.
Yeah,
It's legal. It's just
go format legal.
not very good.
Yeah.
If it didn't say have to be face up on it, probably
Tribute to the Doom, I
actually
think, is a card
used.
that has potential.
Well, it showed it already.
Yeah, it's been doing well for that variant. Yeah.
It could potentially be a card that, if if Warriors became really popular and sets weren't too popular, could be a card that, I mean, maybe you could even start taking out copies of Nobleman for it, just because it has versatility against both matchups, like Chaos Turbo and Warrior, because it can. If you're playing, obviously if you're playing like discard engine.
Pot Duo might just run away with this game here.
So it looks like Chaos Turbo's performed well in this tournament. I mean, both these guys are running it.
Yeah, that puts it. Though that would be they're the only two that are left. Or actually, I don't know what Dad 100 was playing, so I can't tell. But these two would be the only people that in the top 8 that were running.
And
Turbo.
the rest are Warrior, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, but like Warrior, then Mr. Big Noodles, Anti Chaos, and
Right.
then Young Motherfuckers. I think his is it cut close to it, but it's more of like a flippy kind of variant.
A flippy variant of Chaos.
Yeah, like Mask of
I would
Darkness and
still-
Tsukiyomi and more drought and more traps.
I mean, I would still consider that Chaos Turbo personally, but I mean, yeah, you could.
It's just a little slower, right? It's more about controlling than it is about like turboing out like your big boys. Of course, that's what he did against me. It's just blast me with BLS, but yeah, three warriors in the top 6 so far. Potentially, if Lucas wins, then 3 of the top 4.
Yeah, yeah. I think Warrior is probably like. It seems to me probably like maybe the strongest competitor out there.
It's just consistent. I think that's like the biggest key is consistency will just win over some of these more like relying on certain cards. Like Turbo can be pretty reliant. Like it gets wrecked by Warriors a lot if it doesn't draw into either blocking you out with Spy or drawing into power cards.
Yeah, and I mean, I've always been a believer in consistent deck's is gonna be the deck to use in tournaments, like for sure. Like if your main goal is to win the tournament, you typically want to go for the consistent deck unless you have like a meta call where like the meta is like built in a certain way where you can just really take advantage of it, kind of like what Mr. Big Noodle is doing in this event.
Yeah, I love it when players do that stuff. I'm not confident enough in building a deck like that to ever run something like that. But like I love when I see like Delinquent doing his thing because he always does that. And he's really good at it. I like it when other people do that. Did Sangan add SERP? Yeah, that seems kind of interesting that he decided to duo after.
Have y'all seen J Kim compete in any of the GOAT tournaments, or has he kind of been absent?
He has not played, as far as I know.
I know some players just can't play because Saturday is not good for him. Like LeBounty's been wanting to play. I talk to LeBounty a lot just because we play in luxury tournaments, so we talk a lot, and he's just works every Saturday, but or else he'd be playing in all of them. Would be a drop. Yes. I'm gonna be banished to Deco, or if he's gonna. Oh, wait. Why are you flipping that without asking for Prio first?
Yeah, that's a mistake. Well, he can't follow up with the premature for game.
Yeah, see now that could cost him in the long run, right? Because now he's going to set a bit more defensive cards here. So if you waited for him to, because he's going to Prio banish one of your cards anyway, probably, and you could wait till your turn to go for the ring play. You could have possibly just got a win off of like Smell My Finger, thinking he had pretty good protection with BLS. He's got one TD in hand still. SERP set. Possibly. Interesting spot to be in, though, because depending on how aggressive you are, you could just have a win right here. Or you could just put yourself in a really bad spot and lose. This helps. Oh, this helps a lot. What?
Can you put Kochi back? Huh?
What is happening right now?
Maybe he's looking at the log to see something, or it's a little weird.
I don't see what else he could really do. Like he went main phase, didn't say anything, didn't ask to do anything. Like this priority banish is gonna go through. Like I don't see what the issue is here.
Yeah, I wonder what could be going on.
Okay, so this guy. Well, first off, this guy shouldn't be watching the stream. He's saying that on stream he heard us talking about it, but he shouldn't be watching the stream.
This guy is trying to bring back your Dekoichi. Do y'all know what's going on?
I have no idea. I think he's. I think TK saying that when he said okay, that he passed Prio to the ring. I'm not quite sure. TK's the head judge, so that would mean that the deco couldn't get banished, but that would be the wrong deco because there should be a deco in graveyard and then one that was banished that was already on the field. So I'm not quite sure what's happening here.
Yeah, maybe he thought that the deco somehow went to the grave. Yeah.
Because there should be one deco in grave, and then he banished one off of the BLS, and they're saying rewind it. So if you rewind it, then the Kochi would be on the field still, but there would still be one in grave.
Huh? So a judge is trying to put the deco back on field?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what TK is doing. TK's the head judge. I'm gonna let him. I trust TK to do what he does. I mean, if this just happens how I think it's gonna happen, it hopefully shouldn't really matter. It's looking like a pretty power spot. Like this back row card would have to be Mirror Force or something insane.
I just don't understand why he would interfere like that. It seems like it was happening how it should, because he said okay prior.
I took it as a misplay from the ring, but maybe TK took it differently.
So what is going on right now?
As far as I've heard from TK, is he wants to rewind it to where the ring was played on BLS, and is saying that Smell My Finger past Prio, so the BLS dies without banishing the Dekoichi, so the Dekoichi would actually stay on the field.
Makes sense. So this Dekoichi should be on the board?
Yeah.
So then they're still not correct.
It should be fine now, right? That's set Dekoichi. I think he's right there. Everything should be good.
Oh, it's a set. It's a set
it's
one, not the one in grave. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he summoned BLS in defense and said no to the priority?
On the last turn, the Smell My Finger summoned BLS in attack, and then said okay, and then 2/2/3 flipped ring and killed it. And TK saying that he passed Prio, so the BLS would just die without banishing anything. But what they were doing before is that the Deco was banished from BLS, and then the ring resolved, killing the BLS.
Okay.
But did not Smell My Finger? He summoned it and said okay with question mark, implying like, hey, like, do you have a response? Because I'm going to call pro, like, implying like a solemn, like a solemn.
Yeah,
like, are you solemning it? You
kind
know?
of. There's the reason why some people have big time trouble with the words okay. It's more correct. I'm guilty of this too. It's more correct to say, is summon okay?
Yeah, I've tried to get people to switch to just typing S, like just type SS, successful summon with a question mark when you put it out, if you want to abbreviate it and go from there, but it's not caught on.
I guess. I mean,
This is game now, regardless. Yeah, so it was a Mirror Force, but it doesn't really matter now.
Because this is not the first time this has come up.
No, it hasn't. It actually came up with me and Petran in the FLC finals. Luckily, it didn't get heated or anything like this, but it did come up, and it was my fault. I'm the one who said who didn't like word it correctly.
yeah. I mean, I guess if he's trying to set a precedent, I guess that makes sense to kind of create the standard. But yeah, it does come off a little bit like in the moment. But it makes sense if he's just trying to set a precedent moving forward to kind of get people to fall in line and like make sure there's no confusion moving forward or create any loopholes that people could take advantage of.
He was losing that turn regardless, so I wouldn't say he got robbed.
Yeah, it was looking really dire for him, like really bad.
From TK's standpoint, he might have just like had since he's judging, he might have had some like conflict popping up like on a semi-regular basis, and he just wants to like stomp that out.
We've discussed this ahead of time that this is how we rule this when that happens. So because it has happened enough times.
Yeah.
And I've actually even ruled it the opposite way before, and then from there on we decided to go the other way. Like we spelled it all out for going forward. So. So if the winner of this match can take down Lucas, Mr. Big Noodle will get another shot at a cast turbo deck.
Ooh. As far as the play I've seen, I think I would favor Lucas. But then again, I would favor Lucas against basically anyone in the whole format right now.
Same. I don't know if you were on when I said it, but I would compare him to like Ric Flair last year, of like the hardest working GOAT format player.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, because like I remember when I first started getting into GOATs in 2018, he was one of the better, or like later 2018, early in 2019 or whatever, wherever that time was, he was like one of the highest rated players, him and Rabid, and he was like winning all the time. And then he took a break, I guess, and came back and started winning again.
Yeah, Lucas, I believe, goes back to like Duelist Crown days, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he was having trouble when he first came back, because he's on my team. When he first came back, he was still playing Chaos Control, Chaos Turbo, and then I played him on ladder, and then he came back and joined LRG, and he just fell in love with Warriors, and he's just been running with it ever since, and doing like extremely well in every single tournament.
What do you make of this Summon Deco play?
See, sometimes summoning Deco is okay. I just don't think it was good there, because like, he's sure you could get knocked, but it walls off Sangan, so it's kind of like weird.
But it's also a good summon if you have Suki in hand.
Yes, no, that's true.
But he also swung with it before using Duo.
Yeah, this is the second time now that he's allowed SERP to be added and then duoed, which is not very good.
Wait, yeah, why would you summon Deco over setting it additionally? I mean,
if you have Suki in your hand, then you can keep drawing every turn without it being noblement.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And especially if this back row card is like a protection from getting run over, he can just start looping deco flips.
That was a huge misplay though, attacking that Sangan first.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the only argument is like maybe he wants him to not add something different to deal with the deco, but I don't know, man.
This also puts him up in a summon again too, right? Because if he sets deco and then it does get knocked, now he's behind 2 summons,
It is
which
possible.
is really bad.
It's less life. It's much more damage too because you now have the you can have Dekochi and Suki both in attack mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
That's interesting. I mean, I think something too, I guess, is like maybe the opponent doesn't always search Serpent when you just summon deco like that. So, I mean, there is a chance they don't search the Serpent. You know, maybe they want to search like a tomato or something like that. Like
I mean, that yeah, it happened. Impossible. It just feels like why would you not take the guaranteed?
Yeah,
like
you don't need
there's
to
no
play,
APD too.
you don't need to play 4D chess with a duo.
Yeah.
And Sangan.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you have a trap to deal with the tomato anyway, then, you know, you might as well take the guaranteed +1.
So no Suki, but this Dekochi is still putting in work.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage off of 1 deco.
Interesting, not even going to set the Sinister from SMF.
Yeah, I guess he really doesn't want to die to a knock with it.
Maybe he has Regeki Break set that doesn't want to blow on a Dekochi, but wants the Sinister in hand in case he needs to use it.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
There's not. Spy.
Ooh, nice. That's a good hit. Yeah, now this deco is gonna keep just putting in work. Like 3 hits with the deco is just crazy.
And another 400 from the Sangan run over.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of damage. I would probably be aggressive with the monster here. Like, sure, you could fall into a mirror force, but you've already got so much value out of the deco. I would just put more pressure on.
Spies are gone too.
Yeah, and you don't want to spend time getting walled by a syrup right now.
Well, that's not how he's played the tempo of his duel either, so
Yeah,
you've gone for the damage. You don't want to... Wow.
wow, this could push into a game shot with the right draws.
Brian, what do you think is GOAT format as a format overall?
What do I think about it just in general? Just general thoughts?
As like a good... Is it a good format?
I mean, yeah, I'd say it's good. I mean, it's not necessarily my favorite format. Like there's other formats I definitely like better, like enjoy playing more. But in general, I think it's solid. I mean, it's a slower paced format, so you actually have time to play. I think there's enough diversity in the card pool to make it interesting. Like, you know, you see like you see FTK decks, you see OTK decks, you see Go Control decks, Chaos decks, Warrior decks, Horus decks. You know, there's a lot of variability in it that makes it interesting. So I think it's cool. I don't think it's like my personal favorite of all of the formats, but I do think I think it's good, and like I've said like many times, I really like I like the stagnant card pool because it without there being new releases constantly, it's nice that like, you know, if you're just playing Yu-Gi-Oh as a hobby, it's nice that you don't have to constantly be like on the cutting edge of like new set releases and spending money and stuff, and you can be like competitive / semi-competitive without having to invest, you know, huge swaths of your week to stay on top of things. So I think for that reason, it's really cool.
So this Kaiku not allowing a chaos monster to be summoned right here. Yep. So
That's,
not for long.
Yeah, he just really wants to get a chaos monster on board.
I mean, it's great still. You just drop it and then banish the Kaiku, right?
Again, the people got to ask for Prio.
It doesn't matter there.
I mean, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. But I mean, they're just trying to set a precedent. What if he wanted to go for a stupid attack? I guess it wouldn't make any sense, but
I mean, it would have been to his advantage if he wanted to
I
let
mean,
him do that, but-
maybe he wanted to bait out a TT. You could have just said no Prio and then banished after Prio.
Yeah. Good torrential though.
Yeah, it was a really good torrential.
So no more lights for SMF. Preemie Kaiku here would be great for Shah. BLS?
man, BLS is just so powerful.
Seen it more this match than the rest of the tournament combined, I feel like.
Damn.
You attacking with this BLS, Moxies? Are you switching tribe to defense?
What have we got gone so far? Probably not. Not with how much advantage I am ahead, and no live major threat. But you know this is fine. This is okay.
That's what I said. Switching.
Oh,
tribe.
sorry. Yes, that part's okay.
Definitely happy to see Book there.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's like almost your favorite card to see. Like obviously you won't, unless you go for the win, but like
Now they can't snatch you either.
yeah, no snatch, and you know that the other card's not a mirror force or like an actual battle trap.
I'm attacking this thing.
Oh, he's desperate.
Apparently not.
So you're not scared of Spy. So there's already one NA gone. I'm just summoning a monster and attacking twice.
Would you premature burial the BLS here, Ryan?
Would I premature the BLS
Yeah.
for a game? Yeah.
It's a trick question. You cannot premature burial BLS that was solemn judgment.
Oh yeah.
No, he was.
actually, yeah,
He
you're
was.
right.
What do you mean? He was summoned properly.
You got,
You
Oh,
still
wait.
cannot.
wait, even if it's summoned properly the first time and flip down?
Correct. The game forgets.
Really?
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Is that real?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good to know because
See, here's another misplay. If you were not going to attack with your second monster, and there's potential of a Night Assailant, why did you set your monster and then attack with Tribe? Like it doesn't matter because he won anyway, but like that's a big misplay.
These were very basic misplays.
Yeah.
These were not complex misplays. These were
are
like
common sequencing errors.
these were the kind of misplays you see from someone that doesn't have a lot of tournament experience.
Well, he's
In
going to
my
have a
opinion.
handful now. Let's see
Yeah.
if he's going to go against one of the better players.
he even
in GOAT, so let's
admits
see.
it. I mean, he just said in the chat, misplayed so much. So, at least he's aware of it.
Mhm.
So he's going up against Lucas now.
Yep.
That's awesome. I'm actually very interested in seeing this matchup.
Me too.
Are they?
AJ's the guy who wants to win, but Lucas is my second guy.
Are they on a delay for a second or?
They're probably gonna take a minute to get the game set
Okay,
up.
cool.
But
I'm
it
gonna
should be
take a
shortly.
break and be right back.
Yeah,
Yep.
if Lucas can. What is it? One. He would need 1, 2. He would still have to win 3 matches, but still, if he does, that'd be crazy. That guy's just absolutely stacking like everything. Be insane.
So Lucas has qualified for Worlds 3 times already. So if Lucas gets to the finals of this tournament, he will have qualified 4 times and have a +3 towards being the number 1 seed, and will pretty much, I would think, almost guarantee being the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
If
it'd be
he-
really hard for someone to pass that.
It's not impossible, because now that we have this tournament series, you could potentially do like 2 to 3 in a month.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Top of FLC, and then the thing with Lucas, though,
He plays in all of them.
hardest plays at all of them and plays
Yeah.
on ladder. Hardest working
Yeah, I know.
format player
It's
out
crazy.
there. Like,
He's annoying me because he's doing what I'm doing, except doing it better. And using the deck that I made. This guy's just better than me.
they are in the game, so
Okay, I'll come look.
these tournaments have been smaller, but they have been just as exciting as the GFCs.
Yeah, they actually have been pretty good. Lots of good players playing in it, which helps. It's not super diluted. I was kind of worried about that.
So again, this is a Patreon tournament. Everyone paid to enter this tournament. The Patreon money goes towards funding the world's prize pool, as well as helping keep the lights on for GoatFormat.com. If you join our Patreon tournament tier, you'll get to enter these tournaments. We are also going to be adding to all the Patreon tiers access to the Dale Bolito gameplay reviews. He's going to be making those exclusive to the Patreon.
Oh, wow.
So if you join for any tier, the $5, $10, or $25 tier, you will have access to those videos starting next month.
So it's interesting. He won the die roll, duoed, which is always really powerful, especially even more so against warriors. But he only did a Kaiko and no back row follow up, which is not great.
That's
Why?
the summon Kaiku pass is definitely my only play type of move.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got 2 going second, or not like cards you can't use going first, so that's fine. And then him following up. So now this is it. He's just gonna set and run over it. So this went from like a really, which is kind of funny how this switches so fast, but like getting duoed is already like always really bad. You're super far behind, and just like that, he's now in a pretty commanding spot. Or like if he had nothing better to summon turn 1, what is he really going to summon? I mean, I guess Storm. Oh wow, he had a bunch of cards that were not good turn 1. Doesn't have a light to go in the graveyard, so I don't think he already lost Snatch Deal, so he doesn't have anything that can just really out the Blade Knight. Ring's good.
So Ryan, any other champions you could recruit for the Clash of Champions event?
It's tough to say.
Talk to-
I know Chris
I
Bowling.
talked to Philly. He's planning on playing Philly Luna.
Okay. Maybe Jason Holloway. I could talk to him. He's going to
That'd be cool.
He's putting together a video for me because I want to do one of those features on him for my channel. He might be someone interested in playing. I know Chris Bowling, he's probably not going to be interested. He's pretty busy with school and work and stuff. He recently went back to school and he's studying finance. So I know he's pretty tied up with that and doesn't really have too much interest in Yu-Gi-Oh these days. Yeah, other than Jason, I mean, kind of tough. Have you talked to John Moore at all?
No, that's who I was going to ask you about. Next,
Yeah, John
actually.
Moore might be someone I can reach out to.
That'd be cool.
Just definitely send me a reminder so I don't forget.
Sure. Do you talk to Billy anymore at all?
Unfortunately, I haven't talked to Billy. Like he just like one day just stopped. He stopped like responding to everything, and haven't talked to him in about 7 years.
That was my experience with him as well. So
Yeah,
that's
he just
why I was
like
curious.
he just fell off the planet. I don't know. I miss him though. He was definitely like one of my best friends.
Oh, it's quick game 1 for Lucas.
Smooth game. That was a no sweat off my back, everything just rolled through type of duel.
Yeah.
So my prediction for by the time Worlds comes along, Warriors will not be considered the best deck.
Damn.
Why is that?
I think people are going to find little cracks in it where it's too linear, and something more complex is going to take its spot.
Sometimes a simple strategy is the best strategy, man. Like consistent, like this thing of Gladiator Beast and how linear they were. Like,
Oh, I think Warriors are great. I just think in the next 6 months, or a little less than that, I think people are gonna find the answer. Which I mean, we've seen some answers already.
yeah, but those answers
It's
are
true.
very.
Like, are you really gonna bring a deck like that to Worlds, like a zombie deck, knowing that half the people who play in Worlds are gonna play probably something closer to more control variant cards?
Well, last year for going into Worlds, Chaos Warrior was very highly favored, and we ended up with 2 Chaos Controls in top 4.
Yeah. Oh, this is ridiculously strong. It would depend on like how close we got, whatever. Because like Warriors have a really strong ability to switch their cards in their deck very easily
Exactly,
to combat
yeah.
whatever is being played. So if the meta switches to something else, even like a month or 2 before Worlds, then the Warrior players could adapt to that.
Yeah, that's what I would kind of think too.
It really just depends on how many like main Warrior players are the ones you play. Because I know like in Worlds, a lot of the people that were in Worlds last year, like you can almost guarantee that even if Warriors were like one of the better decks or considered one of the better decks, a lot of these people are just going to bring control because that's just like their bread and butter. Like I know the brothers, SD Killa and Krebs, they were trying to get like all of the luxury players to play Warriors, and almost all of them decided to play Chaos Controller, Chaos Turbo instead.
And no Chaos Warriors made top 8.
Yeah. Yeah, it was only Sparky's like really, really well placed like deck that's made to just beat Turbo and do well against Chaos Control.
He is not chaining the goats here to the normal extermination.
Yeah, which I find a little weird.
He must just
So
have the
not wanting
intention
to
of applying a lot of pressure.
just doesn't want to lock Magician of Faith with 4 goats.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 for 1 is fine. It's not the end of the world. He knows all of his opponent's cards.
And he's up a bunch of cards, so it's... Yeah, you're right. I guess it makes sense not to.
Yeah, like you lock yourself, you just give Lucas a way back into this game.
Yeah, this game's going downhill for Lucas really fast. But like that's one of the things. This is how this warrior deck can happen to them sometimes. Is they don't like thrive off of what this deck's doing, and you can just get hard blown out by power spell loops like this.
Yeah, you're not gaining advantage with the warrior deck
No.
the way that the chaos deck can at all.
Yeah, it's definitely more interesting to me to be able to see the a matchup against a different deck. The mirror matches can be quite laborsome. Keeping Dust Shoot in against the warrior deck is kind of an interesting choice as well. Ouch.
Yeah, I'm not a fan knock. Yeah, I don't think that's preferable. But I mean, if you're gonna, I mean, the thing with Dust Shoot is the reason why it's like people say it's bad, right? Because if you draw it past like turn 1 or 2, it's not good. But if you're always drawing it turn 1, then it's really good. Because like Dust Shoot against warriors actually can be extremely powerful when it actually resolves.
Right.
It's just a lot less likely of a chance it's going to resolve post turn 1.
Yeah, it's pretty good too if you can peg, if you're patient with it and you can peg whatever they get off of their Rhoda. That can be pretty crippling.
A card we haven't seen much that I think has some real potential is Giant Trunade.
Oh, from which side? From the turbo side?
Really,
Or just like in general?
Really, just in general.
I've seen a couple people try it. I know James Ark was doing it for a bit.
You
I'm
can
not quite
turn
sure how you called it.
It can force Solemns out that like have no business being activated. Turn Dust Shoots back on. Grab game shots. Combo with Premature Burial.
Yeah, I could see it. I think if you run it, your deck needs to have some like very explosive power plays at the very least. Like
That was a terrible Book of Moon. Yeah. Total flub here from
Oh
Shara.
no.
Oh man.
Wow, yeah, that one play too, that really switches the momentum of this really badly.
Still a Sinister Engrave, if they remember. They do not remember.
Puts a lot of pressure on him to force though.
However, 3,000 damage coming at you. If you let this go through, they could draw phase ring you for game.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Sabina? Long time.
That's fine. I don't think I would have done it, but because he's still the normal summon too.
But I mean, I think I would have just been slamming cards.
Like he still has the normal summon, so you attack into this. He mirror forces you. You grab it.
See, this is.
Yeah.
I would be slamming because the worst case scenario, you can just grab Spy.
Or Magician of Faith
Yeah.
with Sinister that you forgot and Graceful in your grave.
So I got a question in the chat. I'm kind of curious about this ruling. If a warrior lady swings into a jujitsu master, warrior lady gets priority to remove, right? But the chain would resolve backwards. What happens in that instance?
I believe they get banished. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure they get banished.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do too.
Well, wouldn't the jujitsu resolve first and put the warrior lady on top of the deck? Or does the chain have to resolve and then the chain resolves and then they're both banished? That makes sense.
One also says before damage calculation. The other one says after, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and isn't Jujitsu Master 2, it's mandatory and DD Lady isn't, so Jujitsu would have to be Chain Link 1, and then Lady would be Chain Link 2, because it's not mandatory.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah, and Sharu definitely threw this game away, unfortunately. But that's the difference of someone who's playing constantly and on top of their game like Lucas versus someone with little tournament experience. I mean, everyone could get better.
Wow.
Has still not remembered their Sinister Serpent in Graveyard.
That's a good card.
Yeah, not enough though, right?
Nope.
If you drop BLS next to it, maybe.
That'd be pretty
We
sick.
still have Mirror Force to...
And I think summoning in an attack was a mistake too.
There's no reason not to set it.
Yeah, he just used knock and he was top deck.
You have the
there's
ultimate
both knocks,
wall.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a big throw. I don't even know why he's saying GG yet, because technically he could attack over Blade Knight, kill
Well,
it.
He knows Mirror Force is
He knows it's Mirror Force. Yeah, you're right. So then that was just another throw. 100% should have set that. Unfortunate. Yeah, and you can't make misplays like this against one of the better players.
I mean, if he drops BLS after this attack, he can still win this game. Even a sorcerer.
Yeah, I think it's toast.
Looks like he's
got
throwing in
nothing.
the towel.
Wow.
I like Lucas's
So Lucas
response.
We'll take on the big noodle.
This is a hype match.
So are we heading to
I want to
the,
see how this goes.
Are they heading to the finals now?
No, this is
I wish.
it's losers semis.
We're getting there.
Losers.
The matches will be a lot faster though, because there's no more like slower decks. I mean, I guess Mr. Big News is kind of slowish, but it's not like I don't think it'd be super slow.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 warrior players and then Mr. Big Noodle. So and we saw how fast AJ versus Taz's game is. This could go pretty quick now.
We'll see if Mr. Big Doodle can keep their composure this game. And few less misplays than before.
Yeah, this is kind of unfortunate. We've seen a lot of not optimal plays here in these last few matches. I definitely know how it feels, though. I remember I've been in that spot. When I played my first GFC, I had to play against Geisty in the middle of his in his run, and I was like brand new to Go format. And I just got absolutely just like obliterated.
Match is up. But shout out to Sharu. You made it very far in this tournament. So
Yeah, dude, good for him.
Congratulations to that, and I hope to see you again. You don't get that far without having any skills.
No, that's true.
And Mr. Big Noodle is letting the stream know he is a commissioned artist and drew this character themselves.
Well, that's sweet because it's awesome. It looks cool.
I know. You should have let me know sooner. We could get some Go format stuff with them going.
So are we tuning into the Mr. Big Noodle Lucas?
Yep.
Yes, they just
Cool.
started. Mr. Big Noodle won the die roll and just did a tea set.
Got it. So Decree Spy?
Yeah, it's probably pretty likely. Oh, the back row, back row could be Decree.
Is
It's-
AJ
I mean, from what we've seen from his deck, it's pretty likely it's probably a spy.
Is AJ out? I see him in the Watcher.
No, he's just
He's undefeated. He's waiting for the winner of losers finals.
Got it. Which is this?
So the winner of this will face Taz, and that'll be losers finals. And the winner of that will have to beat AJT BLS twice to win the tournament.
Okay. Cool. So we're making
We're
some
getting there.
progress.
Yeah, 3 matches left. 4 if AJT gets upset. So if you guys watching want to play in these events, check out goatformat.com and check out our upcoming tournaments. The next tournament we have is the Clash of Champions, but after the Clash of Champions, we have on May 15th Goat Format Championship Series 12, the premier Goat Format tournament. It is free to enter. There's upwards of 100 entrants usually, and the top 4 of that event will be getting invites to the Go Format World Championships, where you can claim your stake of becoming the world champion and winning this belt on screen, and cash prizes on top of that.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to add a Goat Format logo onto my overlay for when I'm like making content and streaming. Get more people aware of it. But
your stuff does come up though, because like I didn't know your channel at all. I'm not like super knowledgeable about past like stuff, so I didn't know anything about you. So it just came up on my YouTube because I searched a lot of goat stuff. So your channel does come up when people search goats.
yeah, that's awesome. So I guess the YouTube algorithm is working in my favor.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if I wonder if he's gonna go for the. Oh, he's gonna do a ring. Okay.
And as someone asked in chat, does top 4 of ladder qualify for worlds? So when the ladder resets, which is that's when the current format ban is resets on Dueling Book, the top 4 of those players will also qualify for worlds.
Yeah. Good luck to anyone out there who wants to do that. It's extremely hard. Like really hard.
You can also qualify by entering our Academy League tournaments, which are ongoing non-live tournaments where you join up and you have to pretty much win 3 tournaments to be qualify. Those take about, I don't know, what would you say, Moxies? They go, you start, by the time you start one and end one, it's like 3 week process,
Yeah, 3 week process. That sounds about
maybe
right.
more.
It's actually great for people who don't have a lot of time to commit to playing goats and don't want to grind or can't play in all day long tournaments. It's perfect for anyone out there who can do who doesn't have a lot of time. It's a pretty leisure at your pace.
Yeah, you should probably actually check those out, Ryan, if you want to get some good goat matches in.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, people try hard.
Check out
What was
check
that?
out what?
So we have, it's called the Academy League.
Mhm.
The way it works is, the links are all on goformat.com. You can find it. What you do is you have to win. It's called a Slifer tournament, which you enter the tournament on Discord. You just find a time when you and your opponent have. It's a 4-person tournament, right, Moxies?
Yep.
It's a 4-person tournament. You line up a time when you and your opponent can play. So it could be like throughout days of which is when you guys have time to play. And then if you win the Slifer tournament, you move on to an or to a Ra tournament, which is then a 8-player tournament.
Yeah. Or sorry, yeah, the obelisk. Yeah, yeah.
No, the Ra tournament.
Oh, sorry, Roger still 4.
Raws are still 4. So then you win. If you win the 4-player tournament, you then move on to the Obelisk tournament,
Yeah.
which is how many players?
8 for that.
8. And if you win that tournament, then you get a Worlds invite.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's just a more slow paced at your leisure way of working towards an invite.
But so
Plus good competition.
yeah, so far like the winners have been like LeBounty, Ric Flair, who was last year's world champion,
Juve, one of the better European players, and KL93, who's another one of the better burn / European players.
Yeah.
So all the winners have been either already in Worlds or are good players.
By no means a easy way of getting your invite, but definitely a great way to get Go format experience.
Yeah, it's fun just to try. Like I've been using it just to deck test because I know I'm going to get good competition on it. So I've been using it as a way of just practicing against other competitive players and try out new lists.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you
makes
play on the
sense.
ladder, you can get pretty mixed results of either playing someone really really good or playing someone who's just really not quite as good, and then you're not really getting great data.
Right, makes sense.
So we are looking at another one of these weird tribe infected virus situations.
Yeah, this would be a huge try. I see in the chat, Freaky, you're asking about. You're currently rank 13. Yeah, I mean, you could go for it. It's just there's a long time still, like at least 2 more months of it, and you're gonna once you get over like 1200 rating, you essentially need to win like 3 games to every 1 to even go positive in Elo. So it's pretty hard to do it. Your target number, if you really want to grind, is probably around 15 to 1600. Suzuki, that's always the best card to see in a situation like this.
Yeah, even if the Kaiku has to clash with it to save the spy, you're happy with that trade.
You can feel pretty aggressive too if you're Lucas, because I'm sure he's been paying attention to like Mr. Big Noodle's games, and his trap count is pretty low. So I'm sure like a TT Mirror Force are probably still in there, but I wouldn't be quite as worried about like Sakuruchi Armor or anything. Yeah, see, it's more likely it's a card like Book of Moon, which isn't the worst trade. Oh, he's going to do it like that. Nice. Oh, he's going to ring that.
So now the Grandmaster can attack the spy, right? Yeah.
Yep. That's a redeclare. That's a really good, because now the skill dart's going to kill the. So he's got Mr. Big Noodle still has a Serpent in hand and then an unknown card.
So Lucas likely sitting on a Chaos Monster and another monster.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Am I
Nope.
glitched, or does Mr. Big Noodle really have 4,686 life points?
Yeah, it's glitched. He's at 33.
Now this gives him a light, though, is the issue.
Yeah, I wonder what he's. Yeah, he kind of has to, which is unfortunate.
Main phase 2 Necro Valley?
That would help, but it's looking not likely. Yes, this is probably just game. I wouldn't. If I'm Lucas, I'm not respecting that back row at all, and I'm just attacking.
I mean, worst case, it's a Book of Moon.
You could just banish and then banish the breaker and just be pretty safe, just because like you have such a huge advantage right now in cards. Yeah, see, this is okay too, and just banish it and then just attack.
Big Noodle tops the Snatch Steal could be devastating.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot he's got the main deck Minecons.
Yeah, if Mr. Big Noodle can take this first game, then might have a really good shot.
It's a really good point. Game 1 is going to be the biggest deal.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a pretty good side for Warriors too, like a pretty aggressive Warrior or a pretty aggressive monster lineup to help.
I would hope so.
Oh wow. Then he's got a Serp as other cards. That's a really good. Those are really good draws to combat that.
All right, this will be the deciding turn, I think. He probably doesn't have game, at least. He would have likely done it already.
I still think that other card in his hand is probably might even be a BLS. Because he held 2 cards last time. One of which was probably just a normal summon monster, and then he held another one. So I guess it could be 2 normal summon monsters. But he didn't set anything, so this back row card was the top deck. Or else he would have set it last turn and made his Blade Knight 2k. He probably just wasn't expecting the Minecon to banish his Dark, that Sork, so he probably went Sork first.
What is the life points? Because my screen is all messed up still.
Noodle's got 1500 and Lucas has 2250. I'm expecting him to probably go Lady here, or maybe he'll just go for a. Yeah. Wait. Oh, but he might have a premature or something. Because like he knows that Serp, so why would you do that unless you had follow up? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's going for game. Huh.
But even then, it's.
Yeah, it's risky.
Yeah, why not Warrior Lady it, right?
Yeah, why not Warrior Lady? I guess maybe this is just safer against Mirror Force, I guess. But now he's walled out again.
I would love to see Mr. Big Noodle take this tournament down.
Yeah, too. Lucas said misplay. Oh, he forgot that it was Serp. It would definitely be interesting if Mr. Bignino could at least get a couple wins here and get his invite. That would be wild. Oh yeah, see, this is not good now. At least there's no Necro Valley to go with it, so he's pretty weak comparatively to the monster lineup that Warriors have. But
I see the admit defeat button coming.
yeah, I feel it'd be super unlikely. It's not looking good. He's still passing, so I'm super convinced that that's BLS.
Plays in Necro Valley.
You can't chain call to Necro Valley.
That's good.
Nice.
Aww.
He's still in an okay position because he can still wall out with Serp.
Yeah. Puts that dead BLS in his hand. Makes it even more dead.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Question is, do you... I guess, yeah, you definitely do pop, huh?
I think you have to.
Yeah,
if you draw
especially
if those other guys are stronger.
if you have a BLS in hand too, then you definitely have to pop.
If you draw Spear Soldier right now, then
That's
it's stronger
really
than that.
it's really
I guess there's only one.
Well, if BLS is in your hand, you for sure, because that's your dark that meets the requirement. So if they get over the breaker,
right.
I mean, a card like Gorilla would just kill it anyway, so I think you kind of have to.
I think Mr. Big Noodle needs to be really careful about killing the breaker unless he has game.
Yep.
That's a good one.
So that's a way around that sentence.
Yep.
Only 2 lights engraved too.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy. That's an insane top deck.
Yeah, like if he draws Berserk Gorilla there, he loses.
Yeah, you're right. Because if he didn't kill the Necro Valley, he'd be higher than Kaiko. That's insane. Of course, then he probably would have just set Serp and did not. Oh, so wait. See, he didn't have BLS.
No, wow. What is it?
He's been holding that card or something.
It might have been a
He was holding on Breaker for a while because there was
could
nothing
be
that he was setting.
Maybe it's like a spell card he's been holding, like a cross out or something.
Yeah, that's true. I was pretty convinced.
No, it can't be a spell card because he didn't play it till Blade Knight was only at 16 because he kept it in his hand.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a monster. It's definitely a monster. So maybe the Breaker he was holding because there's no back row or anything to pop, so he's just holding it.
Donnie, I don't know.
Because I feel like Lady would have been played if that was
Mystic
the card.
level 2.
Yeah, did he ban it? Yeah, no, it could be that.
It definitely could be Mystic level 2.
Oh, piercing. Oh, this could just be it right here.
Solemn. Yeah, level 2 makes sense.
Is there a Blade Knight left in the deck?
I think so.
Oh, Donnie Z. That's the other one.
Wait, there's a lot. Snatchio, Pog, Graceful Charity, Rhoda. Like, there's so many out still to this Kaiko.
I'm gonna...
at least 1 to 2 Sakuchi armors.
Said I'm gonna do it.
Top decking BLS right now would just be a big. But
Slap
yeah,
in the face.
yeah, I'd say like a good 40% of his deck can out this Kaiko, and that was not it.
He didn't do it. He got game 1. Nice.
True nobleman.
Damn, that's unfortunate. That's really good for Mr. Big Noodle because he can. I'm sure his deck, because it's like focused on chaos. He's pretty glad to get that win game 1.
Even
It
if
doesn't
he wins,
seem like
he's
a
got
bad.
to do it 4 more times.
Yeah,
It doesn't seem to be a bad matchup, that deck versus Warrior, because Decree shuts down a quarter of Warrior's deck. I mean, and then you have Spies and Berserk Gorillas, just huge B6.
yeah. No, those are. I think those are more of the issue than the decrees are the spies and.
It's not garbage. It's just that you have noblemen, mind control, mind control, mind control.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is another thing I think Lucas was even saying it in the chat earlier that he really misplayed that Prima Exiled. I was wondering what he was trying to do, but yeah, I think he just forgot that was a SERP.
It never really came up though.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, you're right. It didn't really come up that much. But he could have put 2 monsters on board instead of throwing one away.
I guess it did come up because the warrior lady never would have died to anything else.
Yeah.
For free. Yeah.
He would have traded with whatever he summoned after, and then he would have just won the game the next turn.
Yeah, like even if he didn't banish, if he had banished the serpent, then it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. But I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have. Not in that game state, right? Because now you have 2 attackers, and he only has one.
He had a
settable
mirror
card.
force. He had a mirror force.
Yeah, and a mirror
set
force
too, though.
to back it up. I think you just attack and do the damage, and then you essentially say you have to draw something because if you just set SERP one more time, you lose.
Probably should have grabbed Blade Knight.
Yeah, I agree. I think Blade Knight or DD were definitely better. I mean, did he had 1 card in hand still, or was SERP the only card? Because even like Don's Luke would have been better because you could have just attacked over with your prematured Blade Knight and then just hit with Dawn and hit the other card that was in hand. I think there's just about a billion plays that were a little bit better than that. I think you just forgot that it was SERP.
So if you're Lucas, which you know his deck pretty well, what are you doing game 2 against this?
Well, I'm siding 3 Dust Tornado. Like I know that's not great for Decree, but you kind of have to play it like I'm going first. I have 3 Dust Tornadoes and a bunch of other cards, MST, Storm, whatever. I want to just have as many outs as possible. And then
Clips?
Yeah, Clip for sure is coming in. And if he decided to do the 2 Suzuki Grandmaster side, then I would be doing that. I'm not quite sure if he's doing that or not though. Not the start you want to see. Oh no. I was gonna say, yeah, if you're setting 1 as Lucas, it's either TT or Ring.
I don't see any reason to MST before duoing. Unless
No, I don't either.
Like, you think he's gonna solemn your duo?
Possible. Negative. That could hurt.
Yeah, this is a pretty strong position. Though it's interesting he didn't set or summon anything on his turn.
Yeah, he needs to draw into a monster to take advantage of it.
Here we go. Decree Necro Valley. I don't know if I'd even. I mean, I have no idea what Mr. Big Noodle's side is, but you would think you could get the Necro Valleys out of there for the Warrior matchup, right?
It's not horrible against Chaos Warriors though, because of BLS, Sork, and 2 revivals.
Yeah,
It's not like great. It's not great, but it's average.
In a matchup where like not being able to answer one monster on the board could be game.
It depends. It can turn really bad though, because if Lucas decided to read that he was going to keep the Necro Valleys in, and he sided out like 1 Sork and then the both revivals for certain other cards, then this Necro Valley will have absolutely no value.
Well, it gives your spy engine a little more attack, like for your spear soldiers and your assailants and stuff.
Yeah, it gives those 2 guys a little bit more power. It doesn't do really that much for spy.
He might just have limited side deck space as well, to where like he wanted to side other cards rather than having to side out like 3 Necro Valleys, assailants, like spear soldiers, because that's a lot of cards to dedicate to your side deck.
Ooh, nice. You better hope this is a book.
I'm gonna hop out of this game and right back in just because these life points are
all glitched.
Yeah,
He does have the book. That's the one nice. Like a decree can be a blowout sometimes against warriors, but it also lets you play so aggressive. Like I know when I play against Chaos Control, and they flip decree on me, I'm just slamming monsters and attacking like nonstop because I'm not worried about something going wrong. Worst case scenario, they flip a scapegoat or they use like Book of Moon. Okay.
So that did not fix the life points. So let me know what the life points are.
8,000 for Lucas and 7,000 for Mr. Big Noodle.
Maybe if I log out.
I would assume too that Lucas probably sided in 2 books because he knows decrees coming in, so you want to be able to have a different sort of protection.
Say that's super likely.
Oh wow!
Royal
Tribute. Holy smokes! No way.
We've not seen that
Does it
yet.
Does it hit anything?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. He gets to verify his hand though.
Do we do that with this card?
Whatever TK says.
Yeah, honestly, I can't keep track of what cards we're looking at and what cards we're not.
I definitely I played Gravekeepers for a good chunk, and you definitely get to see their hand.
Well, so
I think both
both
players get to see each other's hands. That's how it works. It's the same thing with Mind Crush. Like you get to like verify and stuff. Same thing with No More Crossout.
Not in Go Format no more. You definitely don't get to look anymore.
What do you mean?
I don't know the specifics, but the people who delve super into all that found, I guess, information says you don't, or something like that. Scully might know more than me. All I know is you don't verify for Mind Crush anymore.
Yeah, unless 0 copies are discarded.
Yeah.
Huh.
All the people put hours and hours of effort into doing a lot of research into it. They found out that they said that you don't, and I'm just going to trust them because they put a certain amount of work into it.
It is honestly still debated, but that is where it is landed on for the moment.
Now, back on it, I was actually thinking, I was about to say this earlier, I was thinking he's not summoning anything because he probably bricked on multiple Necros. which is it's kind of funny. He decided to go a little bit more of a cheesy route against a deck that, like Royal Tribute is not the greatest card against Warriors unless you can like for sure open Necro Valley Royal Tribute turn 1.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't think it's very good either.
Yeah, Road Tribute does not seem to be the card you want to play against Warrior. It seems really good against Chaos.
Oh, he's going to chain MST to this.
Yeah.
Yep, good play, good play.
Another set decree.
So not using that breaker counter. Actually going to come up.
Does Decree trigger when a trap's activated, or it just negates? It's a
No.
continuous effect.
Yeah.
It does not trigger.
Yeah.
So like something that could come up is like if you have Decree here and they play Takaretsu, you have Solemn set, you should play the Solemn on the Sakaretsu. Because then you still cannot chain the Mystical Space Typhoon to the Decree or to anything.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, this is one of the instances where, I mean, like he should have, because there's no reason not to use your breaker point. Like you're just kind of being greedy for 300 extra life points.
No, that's not true. Leaving the counter on it makes it so that it doesn't die to 1800s monsters. It doesn't die to 1600 monsters, 1900 monsters. It's clashing.
True, but they can just get snatch stealed, and then you lose a lot of value.
That's true as well, but I don't think the proper play is to use Breaker's Effect there.
Yeah, I'm probably just overthinking it because it just didn't work out.
There's
Yeah,
more.
like, even if you
There's more outs to a snatch steal. There's only one of that, whereas there's like a lot of skilled dark magicians. There's blade knights that all swing over it.
oof. So if Mr. Big Noodle can draw a second monster right now, he can put some serious pressure on this duel.
There it is.
MST already gone for Big Noodle. Oh,
Oh, nice.
great Book of Moon. Can Lucas attack over now, though?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, right now I guess like 15. Doesn't really matter. He'll be able to walk over it with Blade Knight.
Mr. Big Noodle still has a lot of cards he can draw, like 3 spies, any berserk, any gravekeeper monster.
Zone Snatch Steal.
Yeah.
The decree is likely making the 2 back rows dead too, so I mean it's a lot closer than it appears.
Could be Nobleman set too, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's the one nice thing about comboing Decree with Necro Valleys. Kind of makes you feel a little bit more safer setting some of these more bluff cards because you're not as worried about getting blown out by a storm. The storm's just going to hurt your opponent just as much. Now, him thinking about, I mean, Mr. Big, takes his time on turns, I guess. But like, if that was a spy, you wouldn't really be thinking, right? Like, you would just be setting it.
So Sangan, you think?
Yeah, Sangan, Serp. I mean, even Serp, I get you would be setting. Sanguine would probably be the only card, right? Because if it's face up, it's a little bit safer. But if you're drawing any spy or a SERP, you're just setting that without really thinking. Nice. Oh wow.
Yeah. Very likely a game 3 coming up.
Yeah.
Well, we know he doesn't have Nobleman now, so Spy, bigger threat.
Done.
Oh, okay. That's that.
And again, yeah, that's one of the nice things, or not a nice thing. It's one of the counters to why Decree can also be just as bad. Is if you're not in like an overpowering position and you're down in summons, the warrior player can just so aggressively just push without thinking, and they can just take you out in like 3 turns. Because like warriors in general could actually kill most decks really fast, but they have to play around cards, so they can't just commit without thinking. They have to actually think about it. But when Decree's up, you can just attack, like summon, attack, and just go.
Yeah, so I think Big Noodle's mistake there was Royal Tribute for sure. Like, I don't think you want to be playing that. And I don't even think I'd be big on maxing out on Necro Valleys either.
Yeah,
I don't know his side, so.
Yeah, because that Royal Tribute didn't get almost any value. It hit an MST, and then the Necro Valleys didn't really do anything. And he bricked on him too. He had to discard one.
Going to get to go first for game 3, though.
Which is pretty powerful. You have to be really careful though if you're Mr. Big Noodle, because you don't play like a super hyper like aggressive back row card, so you have to be careful about, like Spy is almost a win con for you. You have to be careful about just setting it like turn 1. Nice.
Pot of Greed.
So a monster with nothing else. I wonder what Big Noodle's hand is looking like.
Yeah, you think if he had, oh wow, Pod into Graceful's good. If he had, like if he had Decree, he would have set it. If he had like a Book of Moon, he probably would have set it. So it's probably just pretty monster heavy. Maybe he didn't want to commit Necro Valley to the field yet. That's a good card to side in.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good sign for Mr. Big Noodle that he didn't have any follow-up.
Though, of course, if Lucas doesn't, I mean, he's 30 cards, 10 cards in his deck, he probably does. But if he didn't have an answer to a Spy at all, it doesn't really matter how much Mr. Big Noodle is having a hard time. He can just hide off that for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so full Trinity. This game's, yikes, unfortunate for Mr. Big Noodle.
If he's got the follow-up Rhoda for Mystic level 2, out.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. There's a lot of cards here that he could have in his hand that that can really take advantage of this board. I'd be very surprised if Lucas doesn't have a for sure out to the set card.
Yep, there it is.
Here we go. We'll find out right away now if he's got knock or not,
True.
because he'll be greedy if he has knock.
Yeah, because Don DeLuge. Oh man.
Oh, so he does.
Yeah.
Sangan to stay in the game.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's painful. It would be really interesting if Sandmoth existed in this format.
I've thought the same thing so many times.
It could be interesting to do like a flavor card every now and then tournament.
So he did hit the solemn, so no more solemns for Lucas.
Wow, that's surprising. It's
Yeah,
now
I
it's
didn't
now
know,
back to even.
That must mean he's holding on to a bunch of monsters, right? Because like if you have Solemn, what are you holding in your? Oh, that's why. I was gonna say you would probably if you have Solemn and you just went to Graceful Charity, you're probably holding a bunch of cards.
I think it's probably slightly better to duo before you swing over, but not a huge difference. Just less information for them to make a decision from. Like maybe he keeps an old mid or something.
This is a bit closer than I thought it was going to be now.
Yeah. I still think it's going to be rough. He very likely has a monster to swing over the soldier. Yeah.
Monster of his choice.
Oh.
Don?
He must have
That's
a...
not good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how good will Breaker be?
Break would be an insane top deck.
I wonder if it's better to actually like do that play, or just get a monster to swing over and then keep the snatch. You know?
Yeah, I would consider the same. Set Cypher Soldier while you're gaining life points by 1,000 at a time could be a big deal too.
So the other finalist is looking like, is it the young guy, young MF?
Oh, he's
He's
It'll
out.
be the winner of this will face Taz, and the winner of that will face AJT for finals.
Okay, got it.
Pretty big graceful.
Looks like we got a little deliberation.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Damn.
Well, it was the better choice than the kinetic soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some pretty close games being played now. Do you know the story behind the Cypher Soldier? Like why they chose to change that name?
Think
Archetype,
Cypher.
wasn't it?
Cypher is an archetype now.
Yeah.
Cypher is an archetype. What do you mean?
Like there's other Cypher cards.
Yeah, they did it to make it an archetype, so it's part of like a group of cards.
Oh, so the actual like Konami changed it.
Yeah.
I see. I thought maybe it was like an OCG thing.
It might have been that it was, I don't know, maybe it was called Cypher Soldier in OCG. So then when they made other Cyphers, they had to change the name here. Is usually where these name changes come about too. So like it was Cypher Soldier in OCG, and then they made other Cyphers, so then they had to change it to Cypher here when the other Cyphers came out in English.
I don't know why Mr. Big Noodle's saying pros wouldn't attack here.
Because he didn't know what to do.
Ooh, looks like we got a rainstorm coming in where I'm at.
Here's finally a light for Lucas. Big Noodle ready for a spy.
Yeah, and I'm not. I'm just going hard if I'm Lucas.
This might be it.
No Mirror Force for Noodle.
That's actually really good info.
Oh yeah, he knows he has Mirror Force face down.
Well, that or he's not playing it. But I don't think he's not playing it. So that would just mean I would think that back row card's Mirror Force.
Yeah.
Oh, or he's just not playing Mirror Force at all. That's surprising.
Imagine if that Royal Tribute was Mirror Force.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's running.
Yeah, BLS.
Yeah, ring anyway.
Yeah,
He's
Tribute,
running
Royal
Decree,
Tribute
though.
is really bad. Yeah, but I mean, some people have different philosophies, but I think that 3 Decree with like 3 standard traps, like your ring, your torrential, your Mirror Force is still like I think that's like really good.
Yeah, I think that's
I
true.
wouldn't just use
I think you could
Decree
also.
with a bunch of everything else.
I think it's also viable just to run like double Decree and not go so hard. And then it allows you to play, a couple traps too.
Well, we're at the point now where it's warrior, warrior, warrior. How your top 3?
So was this top Was this top 4? Was this for
Yeah,
fourth place?
Mr.
Okay.
Big Noodle. Good for Mr. Big Noodle though. He was. I know he's been talking about how he's really wanted to see some progress in his game. He's been putting in the time, so good for him.
So we're gonna have AJT BLS join us for the losers finals commentary.
Yes,
Hey, what's going on,
AJ, my man.
Hello. Hi. Man, what a day. I can't believe it. I finally got the invitation.
Oh, you should have heard me and Lucas. We were both just kind of mini yelling, bro. We were so happy.
I watched the replay on the stream, so I heard you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're stoked. It's good. You've been grinding hard, doing your thing, and it's well deserved.
So we are in losers finals. The game is up. Lucas the Heretic versus Taz. The winner of this match will get a Worlds invite. It could be the first Worlds invite for Taz or the fourth for Lucas, and the winner will go on to face AJTBLS, who's here on commentary with us in the grand finals, and they'll have to defeat him twice if they want to take the title.
So a little history on Taz. Some people might not know him. He's very prominent in the luxury gaming scene, and obviously he just opened Duo, but he's a really, really good player.
Yeah, he just got top 6 at the FLC last weekend, and just barely lost his game for top 4. So he's been playing well in the tournaments he's been in.
Yeah, he's strong. I mean, everybody knows Lucas, but Taz is strong as well. Ooh, so he passed Prio for a draw.
Oh, he's got
Monster
guitars.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice hand.
But I mean, to be fair, Taz can't super complain about that either, or be super greedy about it. He just duoed, and he got a dust shoot to go off in a warrior mirror. So you've gotten really good value out of a card that honestly is not super past this turn. That card was dead.
So what's interesting actually is that Taz chose to use his duo before his shoot. He could have ran into the issue of having no monster in Lucas's hand, and then the shoot would have been a -1.
You kind of have to do that in the mirror match, though. You can't. You gotta be careful with that. In a mirror match, you have to duo first.
Yeah, and that's I agree with that completely, especially in a mirror. Pot's going through. Pretty easy discard. Shoot there. Dead card.
It's crazy how fast this game is getting simplified. It's just why the warrior matchups are so funny.
It's like the swings are unreal. You can.
Yeah.
It's actually super fun.
Oh, Warrior Mirror is one of the funnest mirrors I've played in my history of goats. It's so fun. It's such a wild ride.
Yeah. So Lucas using heavy here for 1. I mean, obviously this isn't going to resolve. There's nothing really that Lucas doesn't want to see. I think Taz is debating whether or not to use Book of Moon or not on his Blade Knight. I think he has Book Set or Ring, one of those two.
Yeah, I mean you can't really use it though because he's just going to summon a monster and attack over it.
If it's Book, I would use it, but other than that,
Really?
I wouldn't. Oh, for sure, because he already pitched his he probably would have threw away his knock from Graceful. So you're just kind of saving some life points by using Book.
It's true. I mean, at least
I would use.
You're forcing him to have an 1800 or stronger monster though.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, Lucas choosing to use heavy here, he probably has it, right?
He's for sure going to have an answer to it regardless.
We're not playing against a poor player, so that's why I would use the Book. There's the Book, and he chose not to use it. But all right, I'm sure he has his own reasons.
I think he's just more thinking like what I'm saying. I think he just wants to force out a stronger monster. I mean, he's going
So
to do
we're
it
gonna-
anyway.
Right. We're going to see a 2K Blade Knight here. I assume. Unless
Yeah,
Lucas
he's
misclicked.
No, he's going to set a card because if
For
you weren't going to get a
sure.
stronger monster, he would have just got
Would
Suzuki.
have got Sasuke.
Yeah.
There it is. So Lucas is up a card. Wow, what a top deck from Taz. This tribe is going to go through, I assume. No prio, passes. Okay. So this does give Lucas light and dark in the grave, which could be promising because I know he mains a Sork.
Yeah, Sork and BLS.
Yeah, he has a BLS for sure. Just the Sork is sometimes something that the warrior players cut. Duos for 1 here.
That's not bad. I mean, he took out a strong
He took
monster.
out yeah, he
I do
took
not-
out something nice.
Tribe's like one of the cards you can walk over decently easy. I mean, the back
Oh.
row can stop that, but it's a walkable monster.
While this looks like Lucas is really far behind, like it can change so quick with Tribe being so weak. All he has to do is run it over. So he's going to attempt to do that right here with the Blade Knight.
Hey guys,
And
I'm kind of getting low energy now. I've been at this for about
so he
12
uses
hours.
Ring and
so
Battle Phase for 2K.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to end it now. I'm
And
quite tired after
Okay.
everything. So
so it's not lethal. He can
if you
still
want to see
take
the finals,
1600
head over to
swing
the
if he so chooses.
goatformat.com YouTube channel and
Ooh,
check
pro
it out
set
there.
heavy. I would
Otherwise,
put this on
I'll
with
see y'all
the
soon.
discs.
And thanks for hanging out. And I'll see y'all next
Okay,
time, guys.
so
Peace.